we are here. This is early, says, whoops. Oscar, is it? I don't know. I thought it was late, actually. Let me double check. No, it's a little bit late, actually. It's supposed to be 11:30. And, started only a few minutes ago.
I forgot to close the door.
Oh, I did. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Let me go ahead and switch. Boop. Where are we? Boop. And, oh god, there's so many buttons I have to press for this. I should really fix this. Hey, there we go. We're here. Oh. Hello. I'm a little bit tired. I'm going to drink some coffee, and we're going to discuss this MCProhosting thing. I've eaten 100 grams of mozzarella without consequence. Oh my god. You really like your mozzarella, I take it.
Bye, guys.
Alright, enjoy. Oh, and there's a cat too. So yeah, let's talk about MCProhosting for a moment. That wasn't gross. So apparently, this fellow's has been hacked twice now. That's 2 times the times that they've been hacked. Yes, 2 times the times. I'm good at this. My apologies. Is it pro at hosting? Apparently. So they have a several $million business. I think it's valued at $5 million. Currently, yeah, valued at $5 million. So it's not a large business in, like, you know, United States business standards. In fact, it's small. But for a, you know, Minecraft host, they're quite large. A lot of people use them. So the question is, why'd they get hacked the first time? And then why'd they get hacked the second time? The cat has opinions on this. Let me go let her out. Hello. Would you like to wow. Is that what you'd like? There we go. Sorry. Opinionated kitties are not allowed on the stream, sadly. So, the first time they got hacked was a couple of days ago. I think Thursday? No, it was Wednesday, because it was stream day. Yes, so Wednesday, they got hacked. And basically this this hacker, just kind of recapping what happened on Wednesday. You can watch the live stream if you'd like. But, so they managed to get hacked, and their Discord and websites were both taken down. Now, the reason is, oh, yeah, Titan Note says, imagine not being enabling Discord 2FA, or this wouldn't have happened. Yeah, I'm thinking two-factor authentication probably would have saved them here. As a Minecraft hosting thing, I thought it was a Twitch hosting thing. It's a Minecraft hosting thing. But it's, you know, within the realm of, you know, things that I cover, like recent hacks, for example. Some of the bigger breaches, and this is, at least in the Minecraft community, which is relatively small, a larger breach, because a lot of people use this host. So basically, sorry, if you're not aware, let me backtrack a little bit. If you're not aware, hosting is a thing that people do. So, you know, say somebody wants to set up a Minecraft server for their friends to play on. Then they'll go to a particular host, and they'll say, hey, would you run my server for me? And the host will say, yeah, we'll run your server, and we'll give you access to things like plugins, to various server types, etc., etc., and you'll pay us money. that's how you run a business, right? So that's the whole hosting concept here, is that, you know, people want to host their Minecraft servers and they don't want to do it themselves, or they can't do it themselves for whatever reason, and so they get a host to do it for them. So MCProhosting is bad and insecure. I'm not sure. This is one of those things that could happen to anybody. I'm disappointed that it could have been easily prevented with two-factor authentication. I'm disappointed that the company didn't enable two-factor authentication. At least with the information that we were given, it seems like this is the type of attack that could have been prevented with two-factor authentication on the accounts. Oscar says, doesn't Mojang have a free hosting program? Sort of, not really. If you're talking like Minecraft Bedrock with realms and stuff, you still have to pay for those, and it's a totally different game. There's no mods or plugins or anything, it's just straight vanilla Minecraft, so hopefully there's no hacks, and hopefully there's not too many players. Yeah, it's not great. So, yes, this particular host on Wednesday, kind of recapping, was hacked. Basically, their website was taken down and their Discord was compromised. Someone managed to get admin access to their Discord, and they basically just wiped the entire Discord. And then apparently that same person, so the way this managed to propagate, again, according to official sources here, was that someone was able to, sorry, let me quote their words at them here kind of directly, so that way I'm not misrepresenting. So the announcement says, here's what happened. We lost access to our website around 2 p.m. EST, and we were able to regain access at 10 p.m. EST. In analyzing the scope of the attack, it appears that the attacker was receiving emails intended for MCProhosting staff members and automated internal systems. These emails do not contain sensitive information. We since successfully stopped this attack and are working to get things back up and operating now. As of today, the MCProhosting website is still down. Let me double check my info on that, but I'm pretty sure it's still, yep, it's still down. Okay, so the attacker still has access to the DNS. So, from sources, what happened was the attacker was able to access their, what I think is Namecheap, is what they were saying. Their Namecheap name service or domain name provider. So somehow an email was compromised. From that, the attacker was able to get access to the Namecheap hosting service, so the DNS service. They were hosting through Cloudflare, but their name servers were on Namecheap. So the attacker was able to switch name servers to another hosting or something, and take over the DNS. And from there, or from that same email, my guess is that the attacker was able to get access to the Discord account that was the owner of that MCProhosting Discord. So, yeah, so their domain was hijacked, the name servers were changed, hence why the site went entirely down off Cloudflare. Yeah, exactly. So basically, some attacker still owns the MCProhosting domain name. And so yesterday, their Twitter was now hacked. So yeah, I don't know if it's from the same, I assume it's probably from the domain name hack. So what you can do when you have these domain names is you can set up MX records, so mail exchange records. So any mail that is to any at mcprohosting.net email address, you can just redirect to your own email. And so I'm assuming that they were able to do a password reset through Twitter and then get that email from the domain that they compromised. So, long story short, two-factor authentication would have saved their asses in any of these cases, but they didn't enable it, I assume. Again, this is my assumptions, but again, judging by what they've said previously, it looks like an email was compromised, password resets were issued, and then the hacker was able to get into those accounts. If they had enabled two-factor authentication, That would have saved them. Now, when I did bring this up a couple of times to their staff directly, and they've assured me that they have enabled two-factor authentication throughout all of their systems, but I don't know, that doesn't add up to me. I mean, if that's the story, then it's either that, it's either they were able to get access through password resets, or you have the world's most advanced hacker after you and you alone. Someone who's able to, you know, hack through Twitter, Discord, and Namecheap simultaneously, and somehow they're only after your company. I feel like one of those two is slightly more likely than the other. Just maybe very slightly. So, didn't MCProhosting save most of the info on a singular public DB? I don't know that. It's possible, but no information regarding that has come out. Because they use a particular panel that most other hosts use, it's likely, yes, very likely. But it probably wasn't a public one. I don't know if it was public or private. I don't know. Nobody does. But because it was, they use a panel that most other hosts use, it's likely that it was saved into a singular DB of some kind. It may not have been public though, or private, who knows? Do you think this is a pro hacking this? Oh, do you think this is a pro hacking this, and why? No. And I'll explain why in a second, but this is why I use private VPS and not a public one. It doesn't matter. If it's a box on the internet, someone can hack it. And this wasn't a box that got hacked. This was an email. So before I go on and explain why I don't think this is a pro, the one thing I will recommend, here's my one recommendation. If you could secure one thing in your life, if you only had one thing that you could secure with two-factor authentication, let it be your email. Because if someone has access to your email, they have access to your everything. Where do all your password resets go? What email do you hook up to your Facebook, to your Twitter, to your Instagram, to your YouTube, to everything? And can you send password resets to that email? Yes? Okay. Then secure your email. So, as to why I think this isn't a pro, there's a bunch of mistakes that went on the attacker's end that I would not have done, or a professional would not have done. So, here's what happened. Attacker got access to the domain. Okay, attacker then got access to the Discord. Okay, so what happened between then? Well, what happened was they took down the domain and they took over the Discord. Now, an attacker, a real professional hacker, will know that the more noise you make, the more likely the FBI is to get involved. And that's not something that you want. That's a mess waiting to happen. Also, a real attacker knows that the more noise you make, the more likely you are to get the company's attention, or, you know, particularly people in the company's attention. And that's not something that you want either, because that's a mess. Now, in the terms of an illegal hack, yes, you're going to get the FBI involved, and that's a mess that you don't want. But in terms of a legal hack, you still don't want to get the company's attention because you want to be unnoticed. Hey, it's a Danny Gaming. What's up? So, one way or another, you don't want to make attention. You don't want to make a scene, right? You don't want to give attention to yourself. And that's exactly the first thing that this attacker did. So basically this attacker said, I want to make a name for myself, and then later discovered, according to this to the Twitter hack. So what happened with the Twitter hack is that they managed to sell the Twitter account to another person. Now later on with this Twitter attack, they realized that they could sell the information or sell the access that they have to competing companies, to other people, whoever, right? And so they're kind of just feeling their way along as they go here. They first said, oh, it's this traditional, like, I'm a 16-year-old and I want my name out there, so I'm gonna, do something and, whatever. And they happen to get access to this person's email account. Now, as far as, what happened after, it was them saying, oh, hang on, I can actually make money from this, and then they sold the Twitter account. Titan says, this is about the same thing with Slick Raps. Pretty sure the kid who hacked was also doxxed. Yep. Do you know what is hacktivity or B-sides? I do not. Not aware of... No, I don't know. I'm sorry. So, as far as that's concerned, I'm pretty sure it's a 16-year-old simply because of that. However, there's more. So again, it's not just this fact that you want to stay as hidden as possible for as long as possible because you don't want the FBI involved or because you don't want the company involved, and again, in the case of a legal pen test. It's also the fact that once you take something down, you can't access it. Not only can other people not access it, but now you can't either. You are 19 years old. I'll be 19 in June. Nope, I am not. I'm a little bit older than 19. Yeah. Let's pretend I'm 19 though, because that makes me feel good. Hi Daniel, how's it going? Makes me feel young again. So, yes, yes, not only do you not want to make noise because you'll get the company's attention, or in the case of an illegal hack, the FBI's attention, but the idea that you then lose access to all these things, because not only one is the IT team after you and they're locking everything down, but two, you just disabled your own access to this website. And you disable customers' access to this website. A real hacker, or I say a real hacker, a professional pen tester or a professional hacker would have taken that domain, they would have cloned it, and then they would have switched the name servers over to their own service that redirects the customer portal. What you could have done with that is you could have just skimmed customer information off of that. You could have done billing information, you could have done credit card information, you could have done passwords, you could have done admin accounts. Then you would have had the keys to the kingdom. However, this person chose to, instead of doing that, instead of going for the long con here, what they did was they simply took it down, which is definitely a 16-year-old thing to do. And as I'm talking, it looks like announcements are being posted. So, yes, I will search it. I'll take a look at activity and B-sides later on. If I sell my Epic Games account, is it legal? I believe it is against their TOS, their terms of service. Dan says, this is like the first time I haven't missed Saturday stream. Hey, fantastic. So, as far as recent updates to their Twitter, MCProhosting has this to say in their official announcements. One, things we know based on the last few hours. Twitter was hacked. We are aware and have begun the process to recover. Unaware. One of those. And two, the issues related to Trustpilot. I'm not sure exactly what the issues related to Trustpilot are. And finally, today's update was we have regained access to Twitter. Hey, look at that. David Host says, my friend spent $300 yesterday on MCProhosting. Can he get a refund? That I don't know. I'm not an official spokesperson for MCProhosting. I'm just some random guy who happened to find this. I apologize. I would recommend, looks like they do have an official Discord I've been following. You might want to ask them. They do have a billing department that they've been kind of shouting out a bit yesterday and today. Yeah, my apologies. No, I'm not in any way, shape, or form affiliated with MCProhosting. I'm just some random guy who talks about security issues and happened to stumble across this, so I'm not sure how that works. So as far as MCProhosting goes, it looks like, yes, Wednesday, Discord was hacked, website was hacked today. Looks like their Twitter was hacked, or yesterday, their Twitter was hacked. Today, Twitter restored. Website still hasn't been restored, so you can only assume that the attacker does actually have access to the website, and still has access to their mail exchange, or can sign valid certificates. Oh my god, the attacker can sign valid certificates for like 15 fucking years with that domain. They could sell those for a lot of money. Valid SSL certs for a popular domain? Oh, Jesus. That's not good. Wonder how many they're making. Like, imagine having valid SSL certs for Google that, you know, aren't official. Oh, Jesus. Boy, somebody's in trouble. Yeah, if you have access to that domain, you can reroute the mail exchange and you can sign valid certificates for that domain because you have the domain. There's no reason for, you know, the companies that issue SSL certs not to trust you, right? Let's Encrypt only does like 90 days, but you can get 15 years from Cloudflare. Whew, boy. All right then. Oh, then imagine doing HSTS. Okay, hang on. Now this is evil. I hope this doesn't happen, but this is evil. All right. Imagine doing HSTS on that domain. Basically, imagine putting the MCProhosting domain back online, but issuing your own certificate valid, but then doing HSTS on top of it for like 15 years. Now, anybody who visits that website is going to get an SSL warning, or even like can't just visit the website anymore as soon as they visit it because HSTS comes into effect. Cert pinning, not just HSTS, but cert pinning. Like, imagine cert pinning that, right? And then all the browsers cache out for like 15 years. And so now suddenly you have SSL warnings as soon as you change certificates. So what you then can do is not only will you have access to the website, but you'll have access to the only working SSL certificate, at least for the next 15 years. So if the company did manage to get their DNS back, then you'd still have a certificate, the only working certificate for that website. That would be evil. I'm so sorry. God, that's just cruel. So they'd have to like get that SSL certificate from you somehow. You could sell it to them. God, that is ugh. On a list of things that I genuinely hope doesn't happen. There's so much that you can do with a compromised domain, and this attacker has had that domain for the last like 3-4 days now. I worry a little bit. Namecheap. I mean, Namecheap is cheap. Don't get me wrong. They are definitely cheap. But their support is, well, you can see. It's taken 4 days so far and they still haven't gotten their domain back. Yeah. God, yeah, imagining issuing like valid SSL certificates for a popular company. Like just a bunch of them, and then cert pinning one of them. That way you could just sell it back to the company for a ridiculous amount of money. Because otherwise their customers just can't access their website anymore. The second they go to visit it, they're done. They've got a bad cert in their browser and they can't clear it anymore. Fuck me. That would suck to be that company. And yes, don't forget the fact that the attacker has and can and already has apparently rerouted the mail exchange to a custom mail exchange where they're getting all of the emails designed or intended for the @mcprohosting.net website. Oh boy, this is a glorious mess. If it's one thing I've learned, never let an attacker take your DNS. There's some evil things you can do when you have someone's DNS. That's just cruel. Ugh. So as far as, by the way, not sure if chat is just a little bit slow to start or if I'm missing it again. There's been a couple of times where I've just been completely missing chat entirely, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's a restream or what. So for the second topic of today, I'd like to ask, out of curiosity, what do we think about Twitch affiliates? So apparently now I have, finally, I mean, we all saw this coming, but Apparently I now have the ability to become a Twitch affiliate. Now, I bring some benefits and some detriments. Benefits include, one, Daniel can finally fucking watch the streams on 720p. That's just a little dead, says Dan. Okay. Yeah, one of the benefits is I get a much higher priority on Twitch's transcoding queue. So it's almost guaranteed that every stream I do, Daniel's gonna be able to actually like do 720p. Or, you know, whatever that he can afford to spend the bandwidth on. Now, that's just one of the benefits. Another benefit is... Yeah, another benefit is that I can do the Twitch bits and things, which means that, you know, if you really want to, you can spend those Twitch bits on me for whatever reason. Another benefit is that I can, when I play video games, I can actually put the video game in Twitch's like box thing, and people can buy the video game right from there, which is nice. And then I get like a 5% cut or something. Basically, it's all monetary because, you know, of course it is. But the benefits to you guys is that, yeah, one of them is that you actually get to turn down the quality from 1080p to whatever you can actually handle, which does mean that more people can view the stream. So, or at least on Twitch. The detriment here is that by doing that, I signed a contract with Twitch saying that I can't post content that I've streamed to Twitch to other platforms for 24 hours, which means I can't multi-stream. So there's a 24-hour limit on that. Basically, if I stream content to Twitch, I can't then pull it off and put it on YouTube for 24 hours. Actually, for the last few streams, I've been running Final 4S. Awesome. I'm glad that that's been the case. I haven't turned down any of the settings, so be aware that that's your connection and not mine. So that could fluctuate, is what I'm saying. I don't know. Is it worth it? You think it's worth basically sacrificing multi-streaming to Mixer and YouTube for just streaming to Twitch and having more benefits to you guys, and then, yes, more monetary benefits to myself? I don't know. Thing is I'm not really concerned about, like, the monetization of the Twitch, really. I should be, but I'm not. So the benefits for monetary stuff, the bits are awesome because it makes it easier for people to donate to the stream, which is great. The games are awesome because that means people can just buy the game and join me from like right there, which is nice. And also, yes, I get the 5%, whatever. But yeah, the hidden benefits of actually being able to turn down the streamer or turn down the quality on the streamer while it's live are awesome. And I think there's a few more technical benefits. I don't know what they are, but people have said that there's like actually stuff that affects the viewers. That's awesome. I have a lot of viewers from YouTube. I stay with Restream. Yeah, that's the thing, is that there's a lot of people who comment from YouTube, the YouTube side as well. And YouTube is where, you know, my content is, right? So that's where I post. Well, that's where I'm supposed to post. I'll be honest, I do have a couple of videos like in the editing phase. I've just been really lazy. So they're coming out eventually. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's where my content is, and so maybe that's where the viewers are, or at least some. Well, hi. What are you wearing and why?
These are pajamas. I found them in the closet.
You found them, okay.
What did everybody say?
As far as what?
The Twitch affiliate.
So far I've only got Daniel's opinion, which is fine. Dan says stay with Restream because a lot of viewers come from YouTube, which I agree. I've actually seen it's more viewers from Twitch and more commenters from YouTube, which is very strange. I do have the numbers to back that up. Yeah, I've been actually, as far as the raw numbers are concerned, I get where people are coming from. There are more people who watch from Twitch, but there are more people who comment from YouTube and Mixers in there somewhere. So it's one of those things that, I don't know, it just feels like it could be worth it, and then it could just kneecap me. I'm not sure. Dan says, I know know that feeling. I've literally had an entire movie in editing for a year. Yeah, that sounds about right. Editing sucks. It's hard. And also Dan says, hi, Angel.
With the purple heart.
Yep. Hexer says, hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Welcome to the stream. We're discussing MCProhosting's recent hack because they've been hacked twice now. Once with their website and Discord, and then once again yesterday with their Twitter and Instagram. Oh yeah, their Twitter and Instagram was both hacked yesterday. So, and then we've also been discussing Twitch affiliate. Since I now have the ability to become a Twitch affiliate, the question is, should I? Which means that, you know, I wouldn't be able to stream to YouTube, but I'd get other benefits, and also you guys would as well, with the ability to do transcoding on the fly, etc., etc.
You know my opinion about all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I just wanted to get opinions on it.
I know. Whatever you decide to do, I support you 100%. I'll continue to run your Instagram, social media, no matter what you decide to do.
Yay. Yeah, she's been running the Instagram because I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, but he's been responding to the DMs, not me.
I'm also terrible at responding to people, so I'm terrible with people.
Yeah, even me, and I'm your girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm an introvert. I'm bad with people in general.
Get ready for my phone call.
All right, enjoy.
And take this off because this is very hot.
Okay. It is very hot in here. I agree. So, yeah. So the thing we've been mainly discussing is the MCProhosting hack, something that I've been wanting to discuss for a while. I'm wondering if maybe I can hop into a Discord call, if anybody's even available to hop into a Discord call for this. Looks like nothing on their servers, unfortunately. So, Techno Linux says, hey, I'm glad to see you. Sorry for not being in the stream. Try to hack me is addictive. Yeah. No, I get it. Don't worry. It's okay. It's like I record the streams for a reason. The streams go on YouTube basically, and you know, if you really want to watch the streams and you missed them, that's okay. They're on YouTube. Great. I'd have to like manually upload them to YouTube if I did the Twitch affiliate, which would really fucking suck. I mean, I could do it, but it would suck. Have you ever done a personality test? I've done many, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because I really have done many of them. So I've done competitions, and I've done recently competitions, but cybersecurity club things as well. And the previous managers, so the way our clubs work is that we rotate managers basically every once in a while, and our previous managers at school, sorry, cybersecurity club at school, should really specify that. Our previous managers were super into personality tests, so we did a lot of them, a lot of them. So I've done a lot of them, yes, often. And I've redone them several times. Yes, I've done a lot of personality tests over the last while. Yes. Yes, I have. Yeah, so the Breyers? Yes, Breyers ice cream. The Myers-Briggs personality test is one of the more prominent tests, and that's the one I've done often because of the competitions and the cybersecurity club and things. The same people who manage that manage all of them, and so they've had me retake the tests, even though the results have never changed. In fact, the results haven't changed since I was like 12. Well, yeah, sometimes I'm more extroverted, to be fair. Like, it depends on the day. I could swing either way, introverted or extroverted. I say swing either way. I could be much less introverted if it's a good day. I don't think I've ever, like, had an extroverted result test on that, though. Dan says, if you want some context, you can do Myers-Briggs or what that dude's name on stream. Hexer says hearts. Hey, hearts. Everyone loves hearts. If you want some content, you can do Myers-Briggs or what. Yeah, I could do another personality, do another fucking personality test on stream, I guess. Or I could do what I did recently and just look at the results of my last saved one from 16 personalities, because I got really sick of doing them and I was asked to do them over and over again. So I actually have a login for this goddamn thing. Really upset about, like, you have no idea how many times I've done this. It's insane. So I've always had more than 75% in introversion. I don't actually, I'm surprisingly enough, I'm fairly introverted most days, but on a good day, I'm almost extroverted. So, you know, there you go. Okay, so here we go. Let's here, let me open it up so that way we can actually take a look at this damn thing. Boop. Move some things around. I wasn't actually expecting to show off my screen here today. Hi Technolytics, how's it going? Alright. Here's your content, Dan. I'm so sorry. There you go. Alright, here we are. Hi, me. So there you go. Assertive architect, whatever that means. INTJ-A. And I'm not sure. Let's see if we can. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Yeah, I guess that the day I took this was a bad day, and I was more introverted than most days, but the rest of this sticks. Tests say I'm very introverted, but I say I'm more of an ambivert. What is an ambivert? Someone who, like, is just part of the ambiance? A wallflower, as they say. If you'd like to take this test, I don't know why you would. If you'd like to take it, it's 16personalities.com. Hey, you know who's really good at these things? Angel's really good at these things. Let's go pick up Angel real fast. She actually knows her shit. Aha, she happened to be right there. Fantastic. Sorry, walked away from the stream twice now. It's not generally supposed to happen. I apologize in advance. Or, I say in advance, I apologize after the fact. And my Twitch just crashed. Daniel, why? Alrighty. So Dan suggested for some content we can discuss personalities, and I figured, hey, you know who knows personalities?
A psychology major of the family. Okay, but I got it going about a half hour. What's up?
That's fine. I just figured you might want to, you know, what was that last sentence? I said, I apologize for leaving the stream again. So, yes, Dan suggested that we take a look at personality, or the Myers-Briggs personality test, and take a look at my results here.
Okay.
That I saved a while back. So, it was just kind of out of the blue, actually. If you want to take this test. Oh, yeah, if you want to take this test, the website is 16personalities.com. I don't know why you would, but hey, there you go. So yeah, what are your thoughts here on, I guess, this one? I don't know. I'm just kind of talking about it.
What do you want to know about my thoughts exactly? Like, what do I think of the test overall, or what do I think of your results? Or
the results. Although the test overall is good too.
I think personality tests in general, you have to be careful with personality tests, because some tests like Facebook are total bogus, but then there are other tests that are very credible, like the Myers-Briggs, Enneagram.
Is the Myers-Briggs credible? I don't know.
Well, it's more credible than the Facebook ones.
Oh, yeah, but that's like saying that, you know, a polished turd is much more polished than the one that just came out of the cow.
You want my opinion or not?
Fair enough, fair enough. All right.
I think they are a really great tool to use to not only learn more about yourself and figure out like what areas you want to improve on and how you work personally, but also to learn about your coworkers and people in your cohort and your family, your significant others, so you can learn how to work with them.
Okay.
All right. What other questions do you have?
I wanted to know your thoughts on this. Do you think it's accurate?
For you?
Yeah.
Let me see the results.
Here.
I can't see it. The microphone's in my way. Move over to the other page.
Okay. Here, let me,
No, just move over to the other page.
Yeah. There you go.
That works. I told you to move. I need your the profile one, because that gives a little bit more in depth about what each number means, or each letter.
There you go.
Okay.
That way you can see what she's saying here.
Okay, so for the first one, introverted, this trait determines how we interact with others in our environment. Yes, you are extremely introverted. And it doesn't mean that you don't like being around people. What introverted and extroverted means is how you recharge. So people who are extroverted, they recharge by being near other people. That's what they need. They need to be around other people, and they use other people's energy to recharge themselves.
Sounds draining to me.
That's the other side, the introverted. Introverted people would rather, go home, close the door, wind up the sidewalk, and not have any interaction with anybody, and that's how they recharge. They're more mellow, while extroverted people are more out there. So for you, you are definitely introverted. You don't like being around people. I have to force you to go outside and interact with people.
But outside.
But with me, I'm extroverted. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm less introverted, I'm more introverted but less extroverted. It's weird. I would rather stay at home, but I also like being around people. All right, energy. This trait shows where we direct our energy. Intuitive, observant. Can you hit the down arrow?
Mm-hmm. I'm just showing them what you're doing. I'm kind of trying to like keep up on the other screen here. That way they can see where you're going and what you're reading.
Yeah. Intuitive individuals are imaginative, open mind, curious. They prefer novelty over stability and focus on hidden meanings and future possibilities. Yeah, I can see that with you because you are very curious about certain things. You are somewhat open-minded. I feel like that's something you need to work on, but that's a different story for another time.
Like open-minded about maybe
you're open-minded about trying new things when it comes to electronics.
Yeah.
But when it comes to kind of learning about other people and like taking personality tests, you're very closed-minded.
Well, it's just not something I like doing. That's all.
Yeah, which is fine.
Tried it. I'm good.
They prefer novelty over stability. I kind of disagree with that because you prefer being stable over trying new things. That's like being kind of spontaneous.
I suppose it depends on the thing. I mean, to be fair, I did just kind of start streaming out of the blue.
Yeah, but you were curious about it, and it's you.
I don't know. Do you think streaming is something that's stable?
Fair enough.
I don't know. I get where it's going. I can kind of see it, but then again, these are supposed to be generic enough that they can fit to anybody.
Okay.
Well, although I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a lot of this is like, there are some things in here that other people of other personality types would disagree with, but overall, I mean, everybody does things that, you know, are new, because if we didn't, we would go insane.
Well, this isn't like personality tests aren't meant to have your whole life based around this. Like, it's just because it says that you're extroverted but you feel more introverted, that doesn't mean that you have to be the life of the party.
Yeah,
it still means that you can go to the party, but just kind of sit on the side and observe everything and watch everything.
That's fair. I get that. Oh, Dan says I'm INTP, by the way. We'll take a look at that in a minute.
Yeah. All right. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making.
Wait, nature? You skipped nature.
Nature. Thank you. Nature.
I was like, wait, hang on.
This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. Thinking versus feeling. You are definitely thinking. I am more feeling. I am feeling.
I'm aware of this.
Basically, that means for me, feeling, I tend to make decisions on how it makes me feel, and I kind of make rash decisions sometimes. You make decisions based on analytics and what's more logical and what makes more sense.
What's an emotion?
Exactly. So
I am Spock.
Thinking
you don't need to be Spock. Being Spock sucks.
Thinking, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, fair enough. Right.
Tactics, this trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. Judging versus perceiving. Judging. So perceiving is kind of
prospecting.
Thank you. Prospecting is kind of like, let's do this because it's shiny. Let's buy this because it's shiny. Let's go here because it's a new adventure, without really thinking everything through.
Yeah.
Judging for you is, you know, thorough, high organized. It's basically like list making and organization and, okay, you want to go here, but why do you want to go here? Okay, you want to do this, but why do you want to do this? Is there a benefit to it?
Yeah.
What's the future benefit? Whereas the other one is just like, let's do it because it's fun.
Fair enough.
Identity, the last one, I'm not really sure about that one. That one is new.
Yeah, assertive versus turbulent. I had to look this one up too, because I was like, wait, what is this?
Assured, even-tempered, resistant to stress. Yeah, that is you.
And turbulent is basically the opposite.
That is me.
So it's the last like A and T were tacked on. They were definitely new. It was very strange. But I had to look this up, but I guess if I had to say like what I agree with on here, it's probably the identity the most, simply because, I mean, sure, there's other parts that I agree with, but you know, what fits me, etc., etc. The assertive versus turbulent, yeah, that probably fits me the most, because I don't know, it feels like I don't get stressed easily. That's all. Oh, VQ9 says, again, really, you're joking? Nope. They did get hacked again, twice. It's their Twitter this time. They got it back today, but their Twitter was hacked yesterday. Right now we're doing some personality results from 16 personalities, because I was suggested to give it a shot, and so I wanted to take a look at my results, and then I wanted to take a look at other people's results as well, and the strengths and weaknesses, etc., etc. It's kind of fun to go through. I don't really take it as gospel, but it is fun to read, because you know, it's always fun to read about what people think of you, right? Even if it's just a robot.
Well, it's not just what people think about you, it's basically a tool to learn how to better yourself, how to know your own strengths, your own weaknesses, what to do in like romantic relationships, like for you and me, how to be better, I guess, for your partner.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then also like knowing your partner's strengths and weaknesses helps too, because then you can, like, for example, you know I'm turbulent. You are assertive. So, yeah, we're completely opposite when it comes to that, but if you learn how to handle turbulent people when they're in distress, then you learn how to help me a little bit better when I'm in distress.
That's fair.
So I like personality tests only because I'm a psychology major, and psychology and personality was my favorite class ever, but all my psychology classes are my favorite. But that class was particularly interesting because not only did we learn about different personality types and how to weed out the fake ones from the true ones, it also kind of gave me a chance to learn about other people's personalities and how other people functioned and how to interact with other people. Like, we learned about 45 and his personality, which was, in my opinion, was kind of interesting because it was something that not a lot of people look at.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely hated it, but you know, it was interesting to look at those different points of view. And then for my case study paper, what I did is I had you take some personality tests, and I had my mother take some personality tests, and then I took the same test, and I compared their results with mine because it said that, you know, we're most like the 5 people we hang out with, we spend more time with. Well, I spend a lot of my time with him and my mom, so some of his traits has rubbed off on me, and some of my mother's traits have rubbed off on me. So, like, before I was, instead of the J for judging, I was a P. But recently I turned J. So, because of you. Because I spent more time with you.
Interesting. I didn't know that you could change so rapidly.
Well, it wasn't...
You changed so much.
You also have to remember that you and I have been together for 5 years. We've spent a lot of time together for 5 years. So... it's not that it changed so quickly. It changed over the course of 5 years, but it was enough of a change to switch my letters.
Interesting.
So, and it could be like you see with the graphs, it's like this much this or this much that. I was on the edge of the P, and then it changed to a J.
I got you. Okay.
So it just your personalities do change as you grow older, but not like drastically like you're thinking. It just changes just a little bit. And
okay.
You know, if you think about it, it makes sense because I am now very
you're always
organized.
changing.
Exactly. But it makes sense because now I'm very organized. I like lists, I like cleaning, I like organizing, I like making sure that everything has a place. Whereas before it was whatever. The place is right there and that's all there is to it. And I didn't really think about long term. I never made lists until I met you, and then I started to get it a little bit more organized.
Okay. I don't make lists. I organize in a different way. It seems like chaos, but it is actually organization.
Yeah, that's called chaotic organization. That's actually a thing.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You know, just because other people can't find the stuff, as long as you can find it, that's all that matters. Which is why I don't care if your desk is completely cluttered with stuff. But when there gets to a point when there's like dirty dishes and trash, then I say something. But if it's like if you have wires and stuff all over the place, and it's your desk. You sit here, you have to deal with it. I don't. I just look at it. And
that's
then when
fair.
you have your own office, it's gonna be your office. Yeah, I'll vacuum like when I clean, but it's your space.
That's fair. You hear about like those people that, you know, everything's a mess. They can somehow find things. That's me. Yeah, everything's a mess, but there is a place for everything, and everything is in its place.
Oh, I gave her the wrong number. Oops.
All right.
I gave her 101 instead of 303.
All right. Thank you for the insight.
You're welcome.
Enjoy.
Next we'll talk about Enneagrams.
Will we? Shit, what bag of worms did I open? Bag of worms? Bag of cats? Can of worms? I don't know. Yes. Let's take a look at Daniel's real fast before we move back onto mine. So logician is kind of interesting. So logician, INTP -A and -T. I don't know if you had to decide. I guess which one would you be, Dan? Assertive or turbulent? Just for again quick reference here. Assertive individuals are self-assured, even-tempered, and resistant to stress. They refuse to worry too much and not push themselves too hard when it comes to achieving goals. Let's see. And turbulent means turbulent individual. Yeah, turbulent individuals are success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve. They're always trying to counterbalance their self-doubts by achieving more. Just as they push themselves to become better, they are just as likely to push their projects or efforts in the same direction. Turbulent personality types tend to notice little problems and often do something about them before they become larger ones. T definitely, says Dan. Okay. So, let's take a look. I mean, you could always take the test and see, but you know, if you have like this definitive, yeah, that's definitely me, then that's probably you. That's what I've learned from personality tests. All right, so INTP says, Albert Einstein quote, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning." Logician personality type is fairly rare, making up only 3% of the population, which is definitely a good thing for them, as there's nothing they'd be more unhappy about than being common. Logicians pride themselves on their inventiveness and creativity, their unique perspective, and vigorous intellect. Usually known as the philosopher, the architect, or the dreamy professor. That's interesting. This is the architect. Okay, or the dreamy professor. Logicians have been responsible for many scientific discoveries throughout history. So, it looks like... Yes, alright. It looks like logician is someone who kind of makes things happen, is the person who actually does the thing that I guess this describes it better. Philosopher, architect, or dreamy professor. Someone who actually goes into the field and does the work and uses their intelligence to get shit done. Which is fair. Let's see. Here's your strengths and weaknesses. Great analysts and abstract thinkers. People with the logician personality type view the world as a big, complex machine, and recognize that as with any machine, all parts are interrelated. Logicians excel in analyzing these connections, seeing how seemingly unrelated factors tie in with each other in ways that bewilder most other personality types. Imaginative and original. These connections are the product of an unrelenting imagination. Logicians' ideas may seem counterintuitive at a glance, but they may never even see the light of day, but will always prove remarkable innovations. Open-minded, logicians couldn't make these connections if they thought they knew it all. They are highly receptive to alternative theories so long as they're supported by logic and facts. In more subjective matters like social norms and traditions, logicians are usually fairly liberal with a none-of-my-business sort of attitude. People's ideas are what matter. Dan says that seems right. When I have an idea, I spend entire nights thinking and overthinking every single part and option to make it happen. Yeah. Enthusiastic. When a new idea piques their interest, logicians can be very enthusiastic. They are a reserved personality type, but if another person shares their interest, they can be downright excited about discussing it. More likely, though, the only outward evidence of this enthusiasm will be the logician's silent pacing and staring into the distance. Objective. Logicians' analysis, creativity, and open-mindedness aren't the tools of some quest for ideology or emotional validation. Rather, it's as though people with the logician personality type are a conduit for the truths around them so far as they can be expressed, and are proud of this role as theoretical mediator. Honest and straightforward. To know one thing and say another would be terribly disingenuous. Logicians don't often go around intentionally hurting feelings, but they believe that the truth is the most important factor, and they expect that to be appreciated and reciprocated. Now, Let's move on to the INTJ personality type real fast before we hit the weaknesses, because there are weaknesses. Yeah. So let's do a little comparison here. So, INTJ, this is my personality type, I suppose. It's been this way since I was 12, ish. Probably even younger, I don't know. I took my first personality test when I was around 12-ish, and this is what I got, and it's never changed. Maybe it's gone from turbulent to assertive, but that's about it. And maybe I've been extroverted at some points in my life, but yeah, that's about it. So, introduction. Quote from Blaise Pascal, thought constitutes the greatness of man. Man is a reed, the feeblest thing in nature, but he is a thinking reed. I didn't expect it to take that turn. That was good. It just took a turn at the end, just like, alright. It can be lonely at the top. Being one of the rarest personality types and being among the most capable people, architects know this all too well. They make up just 2% of the population, and women with this personality type are especially rare, forming only 0.8%. It can be difficult for architects to find people who can keep up with their non-stop analysis of things. People with this personality type are imaginative, yet decisive, ambitious, yet like their privacy, curious about everything, but remain focused. So, as far as... So it looks like this is kind of a... Again, this says it better than I do, but this is a kind of... gather all the data and make a decision from that kind of thing, maybe. Again, I think this describes it better than I ever can. So strengths and weaknesses, we'll go with the strengths and then we'll hit, we're just going to make this extra confusing and then hit the logician's weaknesses and then back to the architect's weaknesses because, you know, we just want to make it extra confusing, right? So, strengths. Quick, imaginative, and strategic mind. Architects pride themselves on their minds and they take every chance they can to improve their knowledge. This shows in strength and flexibility of their strategic thinking. Highly curious and always up for an intellectual challenge, architects see things from many different angles. Architect personalities use their creativity to plan for unforeseen possibilities. And again, this seems so far, the architect and logician seem very similar. So again, I'm not entirely surprised because, you know, watching a Twitch streamer, you're going to find someone that you mostly agree with. So it doesn't really surprise me that much, I suppose. High self-confidence. Architects trust their rationalism above all else, so when they decide something, they have no reason to doubt their decisions or insights. This creates an honest, direct style of communication that isn't held back by what others expect of them. When architects are right, they're right, and nothing will change that fact. Whether it's a person, a process, or themselves whose course needs to be corrected, they'll hold their ground and have it no other way. I mean, we'll probably see this in the weaknesses as well. Same thing with the honest and straightforward there. I'm guaranteed that's going to be a weakness too. So, independent and decisive. The creativity, logic, and confidence form individuals who stand on their own and take responsibility for their actions. Authority figures don't impress architects, and neither do social conventions. No matter how popular something is, if they have a better idea, architects stand against anyone they must to promote their plan. Either an idea is rational or it's wrong, and they're happy to apply that standard to themselves. Hardworking and determined. If something grabs their interest, architect personalities can be very dedicated to their work. They often put in long hours and intense effort. Architects are goal-oriented, and if tasks lead to something clear and relevant, they strive to accomplish those tasks. Prisma Hack says GY. What does GY mean? That I don't know. Open-minded? Hey, look. Here's something that seems similar, doesn't it? I think there was an open-minded thing here, yep. Oh, okay. I guess it's slightly different text, though. Architects are open to new ideas as long as they're argued well. People with this personality type are even, maybe especially, open to ideas that go against their own if the thinking is sound. They often apply their openness and independence when thinking about matters like alternative lifestyles. Mix this with their dislike for rules and traditions, and it's easy to see how architects might lean toward more tolerant social views. And finally, the jacks of all trades. Because of architects' open-mindedness, willpower, independence, confidence, and planning abilities, they are capable of doing anything they set their minds to. Skilled at hacking anything life throws their way, Architects are able to break down and learn from almost any system. They often use their ideas found there wherever they're needed. Architects tend to have their pick of jobs, from IT system designers to political organizers. So, yeah, interestingly enough, it seems a lot like the INTP and INTJ are very similar. I mean, they are only letter apart, so hey, there you go. But, yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the similarities between Dan and myself here, just because, again, you have this dynamic where you have YouTube, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have Twitch, whatever, right? You have all these mediums, all these platforms you can watch all these different personalities on, and they are personalities. And people tend to gravitate towards personalities that are like themselves, or at least thought processes that are similar, because that's what we as people do. We gravitate towards people who share our opinions and ideas and personalities and other, things. So it's not uncommon for me to see a lot of similarities between myself and my audience here, it seems. Prisma Hack says, in your giveaways, what is some of the things that you give away? So I've been doing giveaways for Steam gift cards, Discord Nitro, the expensive one, not the cheap one, and various merch. So I've been doing like hoodies and things and t-shirts, which is always fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do want to do like I've been doing Steam gift card giveaways, but I've been wanting to do like Steam game giveaways too, like game keys and stuff. That seems like a lot of fun. So I don't know, it's just kind of whatever everybody, if I get like a bunch of people who are saying, hey, we'd like this, then I'll probably do that. It's always a good time. Dan says, remember how I said Twitch is running fine on 1080p, so not getting freezes on 720p? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I did mention that, I did mention that what might have been the case there, where it was your connection, not Twitch's or mine. I think I don't know. What do you think? Is it worth being a Twitch affiliate if it means sacrificing YouTube and Mixer? I don't know. All right, so let's take a look at. If you want me to read yours, more than happy to. Website is 16personalities.com. I don't know. I'm kind of, so what I'm doing here is I'm waiting for more information. It seems like there is more information coming out about these hacks, so I'm kind of waiting for some more information to come out today, and we'll go through that a little bit later as well, as far as the MCProhosting hacks. So we'll take a look at those a bit later. I just want to go through the logician weaknesses here. FU Gentleman says, oh man, I'm in. Hacked again? Did I read that right? Yep. So MCProhosting got hacked twice. This time it was their Twitter and Instagram. So Dan basically suggested, in order to pass the time while we wait for some more information from MCProhosting, that we take a look at the 16 personalities. It was kind of out of nowhere, but hey, why not, right? It's a suggestion, I'll fucking take it. So yeah. Yeah, so they got hacked again. Their Twitter was taken over and sold to a different third party, and their Instagram was the same. It looks like it was taken over and sold to a third party. So that's fun. Dan says, might also because it's 9 p.m. and usually I'm here after midnight. Ah, that makes sense. Prismatic says, do you think there's a way that YouTube can be hacked? Probably not, no. And like YouTube itself? No, not likely. Dan says, maybe my ISP might be a little overloaded. Yeah. Yeah, they got their Twitter back, it looks like, and the Instagram. It looks like it was the same guy. It probably was. So what we were thinking was, so here's my thought process on this. From their official sources, before we jump into the logician weaknesses here, from their official sources, they said that an email was compromised, and that emails that were intended for a particular person in the company were instead redirected and sent to an attacker. So it looks like that they were able to get the name server, Namecheap. So they were able to compromise Namecheap, They were able to compromise Discord, and then they were able to compromise Instagram and Twitter yesterday. Now, I think the reason that they were able to compromise Twitter and Instagram yesterday is if you look at the dig records for that domain now, there seems to be a new MX record. So, any mail that's being directed to MCProhosting.net is now being redirected probably to an attacker's email address. So, I'm guessing that they were able to do password resets on Twitter and Instagram, and they were redirected to a attacker email from the mail exchange records on the domain. Because the attacker still has access to the domain, they can do kind of whatever they want, including issuing valid SSL certificates for that domain, probably for 15 years. So they could do valid, like 15-year-long SSL certificates. Then what they can do, and this is my own evil thinking here, is they can create a dummy website and have people visit the website, do certificate pinning on those 15-year HSTS certificates, and then suddenly all of their customer base is locked into these new SSL certificates that the attackers created. So even if the company gets their DNS back, all of their customers now have PIN certificates that the attacker created. Valid PIN certificates that the attacker created. So they'd have to somehow like buy back that SSL certificate from the attacker. That's just me being evil, but that's entirely likely to happen. I mean, the attackers had their domains for like the last 4 days. They still have them. Who knows when the company's gonna get them back? If I were evil, that's what I'd do. I'd also set up the dummy website to be like the regular website and just skim credentials and credit card information and who knows what else. But that's just me being evil. Prisma Hacks says not even Anon or the infamous hacking groups can't do that. Anonymous doesn't exist really anymore. They never really did to begin with, but they really don't exist anymore. Dan says, YouTube itself or not, you can always abuse a mistake made by a human, get anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a way into YouTube, but you're not gonna find it. And Dan says, the biggest security issue is always the human. Yeah, just about, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, IP gentlemen, it's interesting. I've been kind of coming up with ideas. Actually, I just came up with that SSL certificate pinning idea earlier on stream. I just kind of went, oh my god, this is evil. I've been thinking about if I were an attacker, what would I do with someone's domain name? And one of the things I would do is issue SSL certificates, valid SSL certificates for months or years, and then once the host gets their domain back, I'd just sell them, because then they're valid SSL certificates for that domain that the host doesn't control, that the real company doesn't control. And on top of that, I would create a pinned SSL certificate for that domain, or I guess not on top of that, or I would create a pinned SSL certificate for that domain, lock their customers into that SSL cert through the pinning for like 15 years again, and then, say, fuck it, you can have this SSL cert back for $1 million. I mean, how much is your customer base worth to you, right? Because it's supposedly a company valued at $5 million. That's what I'd do if I were an attacker.
I was worried about nothing.
Okay, I knew you were.
Our president is amazing. Can I just say that? We have the best college president in the world.
Okay.
Alright, what are we still talking
about? What did she say?
She wants... Sorry to interrupt.
we were just discussing certificate pinning real fast, but what's up?
No, she wants my help in student involvement and the decision-making process.
Cool. Yeah. So you basically just get a permanent seat on the collaboration council, or what?
Well, I have a permanent seat on the collaboration council.
That's true, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, not just the collaboration council, but the state board meetings and the emails, the little emails that the president sends out. Like, I'm basically like the president's student representative.
Neat. That's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was like, I was worried about nothing.
IP Gentleman says, man, some people just want to play Minecraft with some friends. That sounds about right, yeah. I mean, again, it's a company valued at $5 million. If I were the attacker, I'd just, create an SSL certificate that I control, and then I'd sell it to him for $1 million. I'd literally be a millionaire. But again, that's how you get the FBI involved, and that's never a good thing. Joseph Stoddard says, wait, does this mean I lost V in my boy's Minecraft world? It was going to be back up right before it went down. I don't think so. I think from what they've been saying, the database, the servers haven't been accessed. So it looks like your files, your database are safe. It should be, anyway. But their Twitter and Instagram specifically was hacked yesterday. It looks like, again, the attacker was able to create a mail exchange record, an MX record on their DNS. And essentially what that means is the attacker was able to redirect all email that goes to MCProhosting.net, the website, or MCProhosting.com. All email that goes to the website is now being redirected to the attacker's email inbox. So they're getting everything that's intended for that company at the moment. Epic, yeah. It was a lucky hack for some 16-year-old who's going to probably face some jail time for this. Again, they made a lot of noise, and that's how you get the FBI involved. And nobody wants the FBI involved.
Everybody wants the FBI involved.
So they're probably going to face some jail time for this. Very likely. Well, what can you do? Unless their OPSEC is absolutely perfect, which it's not. So, just very quickly back to Dan's person. Yeah, we're doing Dan's personality. I'm going back and forth between the architect and logician because I like being confusing. So we're going to the logician weaknesses here real fast.
Are you the architect?
I am the architect.
Ooh,
Dan is logician.
Look up INFJ.
Okay. We shall.
Yeah.
So, Dan's logician weaknesses are very private and withdrawn, while logician's intellectualism yields, I almost managed to pronounce that correctly, yields many insights into their surroundings. Their surroundings are ironically considered an intrusion on their thoughts. This is especially true with people. Logicians are quite shy in social settings. More complicated situations such as parties exasperate this, but even close friends struggle to get into logicians' hearts and minds. Insensitive. Oftentimes, logician personalities get so caught up in their logic that they forget any kind of emotional consideration. They dismiss subjectivity as irrational and tradition as an attempt to bar much-needed progress. Purely emotional situations are often utterly puzzling to logicians, and their lack of timely sympathy can easily offend. So, again, seeing a lot of similarities between Dan's logician personality and the architect personality as well. But they are only one letter off, so, that would make sense, right? Absent-minded. When logicians' interests are captured, their absence goes beyond social matters to include the rest of the physical world. Logicians become forgetful, missing even the obvious if it's unrelated to their current infatuation, and they can even forget their own health, skipping meals and sleep as they muse.
Yeah, that sounds like Dan.
And Dan says that one seems a little off. Which one? Alright, thank you so much for the sub. Owen McCubbin.
Yeah, your lights aren't working.
Actually, that's true. Why aren't the lights working? Huh. I apologize, but thank you so much for the follow. I have problems managing my emotions, says Dan. It could be that turbulent thing.
When did we turn
Maybe.
into a psychology stream?
I know, right? We're just kind of doing a quick psychology detour because it's we're waiting for more information on the MCProhosting situation. So I wanted to take this quick detour and just kind of wait out some more information here as we get it.
You did that without the psychology major. I'm hurt.
No, I did it with you.
You continued without me.
Yeah. So condescending. Attempts at connecting with others are often worse than logicians withdraw. People with the logician personality type take pride in their knowledge and rationale, but enjoy sharing their ideas. But in trying to explain how they got from A to B to Z, they can get frustrated, sometimes simplifying things to the point of insult, as they struggle to gauge their conversation partner's perspective. The ultimate insult comes as logicians give up with a dismissive "never mind." Loathe rules and guidelines. The social struggles are partly a product of a logician's desire to bypass the rules of social conduct and otherwise. While this attitude helps logicians' strength of unconventional creativity, it also causes them to reinvent the wheel constantly and to shun the security in favor of autonomy in ways that can compromise both. Dan says, I am very into psychology, so I'm enjoying this. Exactly, yeah. It's kind of fun, even from a non-psychology perspective, just to read these. Like I said, it's always fun to read about yourself, right? Today I had to explain to my father what is Arduino. Ooh, that sounds like fun. That was hell. I'm sorry. Judging by the strengths and weaknesses here, it seems like that might have been difficult. Second guess themselves. Logicians remain so open to new information that they often never commit to a decision at all. This applies to their own skills as well. Logician personalities know as they practice, they improve, and any work they do is second best to what they could do. Unable to settle for this, logicians sometimes delay their output indefinitely with constant revisions, sometimes even quitting before they ever begin. Yeah, I don't know. Does it sound like you, Dan? We'll see. Alright, architect weaknesses. I don't know how many of you are architects. I assume, if not all, then, you know, many or at least close. Alright, so weaknesses. Arrogant. You know, every time I say that, she laughs. I've read this like 3 or 4 times now to different groups, and every time I lead with that, she like starts laughing.
Because you are kind of arrogant.
Architect personalities can carry their confidence too far. They may falsely believe that they've fixed all the issues of a matter, then call it a day, rejecting the opposing opinions of those they believe to be intellectually inferior. With their disrespect for social standards, architects can be insensitive when offering their opinions even if they aren't mindful of the attitude and less developed social skills. Almost on point, says Dan. Bold assumption there, Rick. I'm just stating the facts. It's happened every time.
It really has, because I just think it's funny.
Judgmental. Architects have complete confidence in their thought process because rational arguments are almost by definition correct, at least in theory. In practice, emotional considerations are historically and hugely influential. A weak point for the people with the architect personality type is they brand those factors and those who embrace them as illogical. They often dismiss them as people who think in an inferior way. This can make it all but impossible for others to be heard.
Yeah.
Overly analytical.
Yeah.
A repeated theme when discussing the strengths of architects is their analytical skills, but this strength can fail when logic isn't the most important factor. Relationships and all their complexities often resist neat explanations. Architects may be highly critical and sometimes reach a high level of picky thoroughness when dealing with others. At that point, many people, with the exception of this extremely loyal and understanding friends, are likely to flee, sometimes not to be seen again. Loathe highly structured environments. Architects hate blindly following anything without understanding why. They have a greater dislike for authority figures who go around forcing others to obey laws and rules without understanding the purpose of those standards themselves. Architects are likely not to get along with anyone who prefers how things have always been. However, by not going along with these standards, even when doing so might not be a big deal, architects can make their lives harder than they need to be. And finally, clueless in romance. There's again, that's the second thing that she always giggles at whenever I kind of read through it. Clueless in romance. The resentment towards rules and their tendency to overanalyze and judge, even to the point of arrogance, adds up to a personality type often clueless in dating. Having a new relationship last long enough for architects to understand what is going on and how to behave is difficult. Trying harder in the ways that architects are used to can only make things worse, and unfortunately it's common for them to simply give up the search for love. Ironically, this more relaxed state is when they're at their best, and only then are they most likely to attract that special someone without effort.
Hi. You attracted that special someone.
I took effort.
That is so you though.
I don't know. I mean, there are weaknesses to every personality as well, so.
INFJ.
INFJ, that's right. 16 personality, something personality types. Is the INFJ. There you go.
That's ENFJ, dear. INFJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. INFJ, the advocate. That's what it says. Here we go. So this is you say?
Yeah, I'm an INFJ.
Alright.
Well, I'm both INFJ and INFP.
Okay. Sounds good. Hey, clueless never. I know, right? Yeah, that's not. I'm not. What do you. It's fine. Yep.
I love you.
Alright, so for Angel's personality type here, we'll start with the introduction. Quote by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Yeah, I can pronounce that. Fuck you. Treat people as if they were what they ought to be, and you help them to become what they are capable of being. Hang on, I've got to reread that. Treat people as if they are what they ought to be, and you help them to become what they are capable of being. Okay, that makes more sense to me suddenly. Interesting. The advocate personality type is very rare, making up less than 1% of the population. Do all of these make up less than 1% of the population? I've read that like 4 times now. But they nonetheless leave their mark on the world. Advocates have an inborn sense of idealism and morality, but what sets them apart is that they are not idle dreamers. These individuals are capable of taking concrete steps to realize their goals and make a lasting positive impact. People with this personality type tend to see helping others as their purpose in life. Advocates can often be found engaging in rescue efforts and doing charity work. However, their real passion is to get to the heart of the issue so that people need not be rescued at all. Alright.
See if you learn a little something about me. I'm curious to see what you think about all the strengths and weaknesses about me too.
Alright, let's see. Strengths and weaknesses of the advocate. Strengths. Creative. Combining a vivid imagination with a strong sense of compassion, advocates use their creativity to resolve not technical challenges, but human ones. People with the advocate personality type enjoy finding the perfect solution for someone they care about. This strength makes them excellent counselors and advisors. Insightful. Seeing through dishonesty and disingenuous motives, advocates step past manipulation and sales tactics and into a more honest discussion. Advocate personalities see how people and events are connected. They are often able to use that insight to get to the heart of the matter. Inspiring and convincing. Speaking in human terms, not technical, advocates have fluid, inspirational writing style that appeals to the inner idealist in their audience. Advocates can even be astonishingly good orators, speaking with warmth and passion. I've never read that word before. That's interesting. This is especially true if they are proud of what they are speaking for. Decisive. Advocates' creativity, insight, and inspiration are able to have a real impact on the world. This is because they are able to follow through on their ideas with conviction, willpower, and the planning necessary to see complex projects through to the end. People with the advocate personality type don't just see the way things ought to be, they act on those insights. Determined and passionate. When advocates come to believe that something is important, they pursue that goal with a conviction and energy that can catch others off guard. Advocates will rock the boat if they must. Not everyone likes to see this, but their passion for their chosen cause is an inseparable part of the advocate personality. And finally, altruistic. These strengths are used for good. Advocates will not engage in any actions or promote beliefs just to benefit themselves. They have strong beliefs and take the actions that they do because they are trying to advance an idea that they truly believe will make the world a better place.
What do you think? Sound like me?
You know what? Surprisingly enough, yeah.
Thanks.
I had to think about it for a minute.
So, do you have any comment about it, or just, yeah?
Well, let's read the weaknesses first.
Alright. I'm curious.
Let me poke holes in you. Just... Epigenomic says, SpaceX mission just launched. First manned mission launched in the US soil in 20 years. Hey! Thank fuck, finally, huh? I can't wait to see it not crash. Please don't crash. And finally, we have the weaknesses here. Alright, we have sensitive. When someone challenges or criticizes advocates' principles or values, they are likely to receive an alarmingly strong response. People with the advocate personality type are highly vulnerable to criticism and conflict. Questioning their motives is the quickest way to get to their bad side. Extremely private. Advocates tend to present themselves as the culmination of an idea. This is partly because they believe in this idea, but also because advocates are extremely private when it comes to their personal lives. They use this image to keep themselves from having to truly open up, even to close friends. Trusting a new friend can be even more challenging for advocates. Perfectionistic. Advocate personalities are all but defined by their pursuit of ideals. While this is a wonderful quality in many ways, an ideal situation is not always possible. In politics, in business, and romance, advocates, especially turbulent ones, too often drop or ignore healthy and productive situations and relationships, always believing there might be a better option down the road.
Especially turbulent ones.
Always need to have a cause. Advocate personalities get so caught up in their pursuits that any of the cumbersome tasks that come between them and their ideal vision is deeply unwelcome. Advocates like to know that they are taking concrete steps in towards their goals. If routine tasks feel like they are getting in their way, or worse yet, there is no goal at all, they will feel restless and disappointed. Hey, I wonder how COVID's doing for all these individuals.
Shut up.
Dan says, and now my entire phone crashed. What is wrong with your technology?
He lives in the middle of nowhere.
Like, how does your whole phone crash, though? Alright, can burn out easily. Their passion, impatience for routine maintenance, idealism, and extreme privacy tend to leave advocates with few options for letting off steam. People with this personality type are likely to exhaust themselves in short order if they don't find a way to balance their ideals with the realities of day-to-day living. Okay. Bless you.
Sorry.
There's a mute button right there.
I didn't have a chance to do it.
Okay.
Alright, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts are, yeah, okay, I agree. So, how is COVID going for you?
Bite me.
Okay.
That's how.
There you go.
I hate it.
Dan says, I'm not even pissed about that, but I reset my custom DPI and I hate it. Ouch, that sucks. Yeah, I don't know how your entire phone crashes, though.
So I'm curious, you said you wanted to poke holes, so poke.
No, I just wanted to read out the weaknesses. That's it. That's what I meant.
You didn't realize that I already knew about those weaknesses, right?
I know. That's all I meant. I just wanted to read out your weaknesses. Alright, so yeah, what do you think? Does that fit?
I don't know, you tell me. You know me better than anybody.
You know yourself better than everybody. Does it fit?
Let me flip the thingies again.
I didn't. I closed it all.
Yeah. Emotional. Perfectionist. Don't question why I do things, just go along with it.
No. Why?
Because
Why?
I said so!
Why, damn it? Why?
Because it's the best way. You might not know it, but it is.
Okay, but why? Anyway.
But yeah, no, those are me. It sucks, and I hate it, but yeah, that's me.
Doesn't always suck. There's positives. There's benefits.
What's the benefit to being emotional?
Well, we just read out the strengths. There you go. The strengths and weaknesses to every personality. It's fun.
You and I should read the romantic one. The romantic section.
We did. Mine was clueless in romance. There you go. That's all you need to know. That's basically, I've read the romance section before. It's basically like an expanded version of Clueless, and it basically just boils down to, yeah, there's two Clueless. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
I could have told you that.
If you want to read out my section, it's basically just a longer version of, yeah, there's too clueless.
What my section says.
I don't know. That would be interesting to read, but mine has nothing of value to add.
Well, maybe after we're done, you can read my section and go from there.
Yeah. Radical Rabbit says, sup egg, hey, it's up. Alright, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit and hop back into discussing MCProhosting's hack. Because I know that's what everyone came for. So, here's what we got. Here's the kind of the rundown. I've said this a couple of times on stream before, but I want to just clarify. Rundown. Wednesday, MCProhosting name servers were taken, and also their owner of their Discord was compromised, so the Discord was compromised. Yesterday, their Twitter and Instagram were sold to a third party. They were taken and they were booted off their own names, and the names were then sold to a third party. And they were, I guess the Twitter was taken back. I'm not sure about the Instagram. Yeah, fun times. So, here's what probably happened from their own stories. So here's what probably happened from gathering from their own stories, as well as my own experience and insight, is that one of their emails was compromised, password resets were issued, and the attacker was able to gain access to the Discord and the Namecheap name server system that they use to register their domains. And so the attacker was able to take both of them. From there, the attacker was able to create MX records on the DNS. And again, this is partially official stories, but this is mostly my own experience and insight, so this is gonna be kind of hearsay. But from there, the attacker was able to create MX records, redirect emails intended for the domain to their own custom address, and then basically be able to intercept whatever emails that they wanted that were aimed at that domain. Now, my guess is that their Twitter and Instagram were hooked up to their domain, so their email address was like something at mcprohosting.com or .net or whatever it is, and the attacker was able to do password resets through those and then gain access to the Twitter and Instagram. Now, from that, I can safely assume that if they had two-factor authentication on any of these accounts, it would have been fine. Now, password resets be damned. I'm betting that if they had proper two-factor authentication, i.e. the Authy app or similar, none of that would have happened. Although, that said, I have mentioned this to them directly, to their staff, and their technical staff, have responded saying all of their accounts were, in fact, secured by two-factor authentication. I'm not 100% sure what to think then, because that doesn't make any sense to me. Because it's either, you know, they said themselves that their email was compromised and that's how the attacker found it in. Okay, great. So then what happened? Were they able to simultaneously hack Discord proper and Twitter proper and Namecheap all, you know, at the same time? In which case you have some super hacker that seems to only be out for MCProhosting and not anyone else, and for whatever reason decide to take down the domain rather than skim credentials? Or is it the more likely situation in which they just didn't actually have two-factor authentication on their accounts and they're lying about that? I don't know. It seems more likely that they didn't have two-factor authentication and then they just kind of BS'd their way through it and they said, yeah, we had two-factor authentication, whatever, it's fine. That just seems more likely to me. But I could be wrong. There could be other situations that come up. I can't think of any that, you know, if they had two-factor authentication on their accounts, like they said they did, again, to me directly, from their official staff, on their official Discord, if they did actually have two-factor authentication, then somehow this person was able to bypass that using just an email on Twitter and Discord and Instagram and Namecheap. I don't see how that's possible. I don't know. That just seems really unlikely to me. That's all. Because Discord forces proper two-factor authentication. I mean, Namecheap doesn't. Namecheap lets you send emails as like a two-factor, or text messages as a two-factor. So yeah, I could see that maybe. But Discord is like proper two-factor authentication with an app and everything. So fuck if I know, right? Again, they say their accounts were protected with two-factor authentication. I don't know that I believe that, because that makes their previous story very unlikely that their email account was compromised and that's how the attacker got in. I don't know. Something's up. Is sysdev a familiar name to you outside of this hack? Nope, it is not. Not outside the hack. I've seen it a couple of times since the hack, but yeah. Like I said, I don't know. It just seems like something's not adding up. They say their email was compromised and that's how they got in. Okay, fair enough. But in that case, two-factor authentication would have saved you. And then they say that they had two-factor authentication, which doesn't make any sense to me, because it would have saved them if it were, you know, if everything was two-factor authenticated and the attacker got in through email. Even if they did password resets or whatever, right? It would have been fine. So that doesn't make any sense to me at all. I think they bluffed about the two-factor authentication. I think that they just said, yeah, we totally had two-factor authentication. What are you talking about? Quickly puts it in. That's my guess. But again, that's just me guessing. But I can't see any other way that that could have been accomplished otherwise. At least not just from an email address. Daniel says, Discord wants 2FA if you're managing a Discord app which needs permissions that can handle anything vulnerable to servers it's on. Apparently, according to them, the servers weren't compromised, and I can see that. If you just took a domain name, you're not going to have access to the backend servers and databases. You're going to have the IP addresses, sure, but that's it. Or even, maybe not even then. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how else could they have possibly gotten in if your stuff was truly secured with two-factor authentication? But once I managed to bullshit Steam to turn off Steam Guard on an account I didn't have access to. It's true, but you can't actually, as far as I'm aware, get Discord staff to turn off two-factor authentication for a particular account. I've never heard of someone being able to do that. I don't think they have that ability. I've never heard of it happening anyway, so. It's usually, I think Discord tends to be on the more safe side of safe practices, and usually will completely lock access to a two-factor account after it's been, you know, two-factored. Just set the phone is linked to his dead and sent them a pic of a busted iPhone. They disabled it. Eesh. Huh. Yeah, Steam maybe, I don't know. Weird. But yeah, as far as Discord goes, I've not heard of anyone being able to bullshit like Discord into removing two-factor authentication. In fact, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong about this, but if I remember correctly, I don't believe many staff have access to even turning off two-factor authentication on an account. I could be wrong, though. So you'd have to wonder, right? Like, how did this person... and again, we're not just talking Discord here, we're talking Discord, Twitter, Namecheap, and Instagram. Like, this person would have had to convince four separate companies to turn off two-factor authentication for a particular account, and some of them several days after an attack that was publicly, you know, publicized, I guess. It just seems unlikely to me, that's all. Again, they say that everything was two-factor, like they say everything was secured with two-factor, but the other option is that, you know, somehow this person was either able to convince 4 separate companies to turn off two-factor for 4 separate accounts several days after a publicized attack, and then, or 2, they were able to hack Twitter, Discord, Instagram, owned by Facebook, by the way, and Namecheap in order to, you know, get access to those and bypass two-factor. It just doesn't seem likely, does it? I don't know, something's missing between those 2 statements. That's what I'm on. One of these things is not like the others. Oh, hey, thank you so much for... Oh, Jesus. Oh, thank you so much for the follows. Brian Baller, Shoehead747, and... Oh, jeez. Winsome Bear 5682. Thank you so much for the follows. Wow, that was random. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wow, that's gonna go off for a minute. Hey, it's beautiful. Thank you. Brian Baller says, can I play on FIFA? I do not have FIFA, I apologize. Oh, hey, thank you so much for the follow, Outgoing Squid97. I appreciate it. Happy Gentleman says, makes it seem like it might be a more targeted attack than just a 16-year-old flexing his elite skills. But the thing is because the attack went down the way it did, I can only imagine it's a 16-year-old flexing his elite skills, right? Like, the first thing that they did was take down the website, and then they thought about changing MX records. I don't know. And then they thought about selling access to the Twitter, right? It seems like the first thing that happened was, ooh, I have access to an email. Ooh, I have access to a domain, let's take it down. Ooh, I have access to a Discord, let's take it down. That just seems like the first thing that happened. It seems like the thought process was, ooh, I have access to all of this stuff, let's take it down. It's awfully loud, yeah, exactly. It was very loud to start with, and then they thought, ooh, what if I could sell this? Ooh, what if I could change this? Winston Bear 5682 says, sing KSI. I do not know what KSI is. La Lamborghini, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was very loud to start with, and then, you know, and then things started happening that were much more quiet and much more, hey, I could do this. Waffler, says Winston Bear 5682. What is KSI? It's a, oh Jesus Christ. It's an internet celebrity on YouTube called Olaya, oh Jesus, oh, Olaya Ola Inca Williams? Yikes, that's a name. Is an English YouTuber? Jesus Christ. Alright. It seems like it's rap. So I can't do rap. Let's see. Shoehead747 says, do you have a girlfriend? Because Outgoing Squid wants to know. I do. She actually was just on the stream a little like 15 minutes ago. Said 15 minutes ago. Happy Gentleman says, but selling Twitter sims beyond a 16-year-old having fun, that's outright malicious. This whole thing was malicious to start with. The first thing that happened was they took down a website that gets like, you know, hundreds of thousands of revenue a month, and then they deleted the Discord. Like, the entire Discord was completely gone. Everything. I think it seems like it was malicious to begin with. Jesus. Hi. Brian Bally says he loves you. Outgoing Brian and Shoehead747 all say sing a song. Sing it's every day, bro. No. And dance. I'm not really the dancing type. I'm not very good at it. I can do this. That's all I got. That's really all I got. Dan says that Bijan might just be a stupid 16-year-old thinking, yeah, free money, I have a VPN, I'm gonna be fine. Yeah, making that much noise is how you get the FBI involved. Sing Yorkshire style. I am not very good at any of those songs. Those are all rap songs. It's really hard to sing those, isn't it? It just seems like something that's difficult to sing. Pour water on hair. I will later actually. After the stream's over, I will go grab a shower. That was my plan for today. I was going to beforehand, but oh well. Water on head. Yeah, I'm gonna do that a little bit later today. In fact, go to a barber. Yeah. If only some were actually, you know, here, that would be awesome. If they were open, right? Right now, I've been just kind of buzzing it. Just light buzzes. Buzz, buzz. It has been a day though, isn't it? Brian Baller has nits. N-I-T-T-S? I don't know what that means. Oh, but yeah, unfortunately, there's been no news here. He has cancer. Ah, it does suck. I'm sorry, Brian Baller. Well, hopefully you get past it. There have been many improvements. Ginger Castro. What is that? So, yeah, it looks like there's been no new official announcements. Unfortunately, they've been kind of tight-lipped about everything. I can't imagine why. Is it maybe because, I don't know, some random streamer came up and just started streaming their mishandling of some various situations and the entire hack to begin with? Can't imagine why they might want to be a little bit more tight-lipped about things. And Ebola the Star. Looks like they're trying to turn you into a cam girl. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm not cam girl material. I have a little flab. Winsome Bear says, can you sing? I can sing, I guess? I don't know. And do you like eggs? Yes, I do. That's actually where the name Meg82 came from. Sort of. Ish. Kind of. Seems like a foreign threat. They don't seem worried about authorities getting hold of them. It's either a foreign threat or a 16-year-old who has no idea what the consequences of their actions. I mean, either way, the FBI can get to them, international or not. It's not actually the FBI that does international, but they do bring things up to parties who can do international. So whether they're foreign or not, they can be got. The United States does have, if they're threatening enough, the United States does have extradition treaties with many countries. Winstonberry, my dog, he's Chinese. Oh Jesus. Okay. Water on head and sing. Oh no, I feel like, yeah, I'm probably going to be pouring water in my head later on after the stream's over. That's the plan anyway. And although I can sing, it's not often that I do. So, I don't know. Maybe later on I will. We'll see. Chucked my hamster out the window. Well, hopefully your hamster's fine. I would hope so. So, yeah, as far as this whole attack is concerned, it seems like they're being very tight-lipped about what's going on currently, unfortunately, so there's not really a ton of news. We'll see. Every gentleman says, I just don't see a young kid testing his hacks, selling the accounts afterwards. You'd have to be a special kind of ignorant to think that this was okay to do in a pen test. That's the thing, is this wasn't a pen test to begin with, right? The whole thing was, I'm betting it was some kid who got in over their head, and a bunch of people said, hey, I'll give you $50, I'll give you $100, or I'll give you $1,000, right? For their Twitter account or for their Instagram. And he probably went, ooh, I can make money? I'm betting. It could be a foreign threat too. But either way, I'm betting that's what the thought process was, oh my god, people are offering money for the stuff that I have? That's cool. Yeah, I'll take it. It's free money, right? Brian says, my daughter is outgoing squid. I give consent to marry her. Okay. Winsome says he's in a better place. Well, that does suck. I apologize. Outgoing squid says nice amount of subs. On YouTube? Yeah, I got lucky. Shoehead747 says, are you a carrot or a pumpkin? I'm neither. I am an egg. It's beautiful. And Winsome says 1v1 me in chess. You know, I haven't played chess in a very long time. That would kind of suck. Brian, let's try to avoid those topics. Dan says this might have been gray at the start, but now it's black as fuck. Yeah, it wasn't even gray at the start. This dude literally took down, or this kid, I assume, literally took down a website that gets tens of thousands in revenue a month. I don't think it was gray to start with. Brian says Jesus, yes. Jesus. IP Gentleman says, nah, a kid in over his head would have recognized he was in over his head at this point. Nobody approached him with money or accounts. It's something you have to advertise. Well, that's when I was in the, I couldn't record this or stream this, but when I was in the Discord, people were offering money for the Discord server, so. It's possible that they recognized that they had something on their hands that was worth money. The thing is with these things, people often don't realize they're in over their heads until it's too late. Like, oh, I have access to this. I have access to all this stuff from a small company. Nothing's gonna happen. But then the FBI comes rolling around like a year later, or even several years later, and they're like, "Hey, remember this thing you did a few years ago?" And you're like, "Oh, fuck." I'm saying this kind of from experience to a degree, because I had something similar happen. It was more local. It wasn't the FBI, it was police. But yeah, they wait a very long time to come back to you and say, "Remember this thing you did years back?" Severus Gina says, did they get in trouble, or did they leave a status on it or not? So far, nothing. But again, this is one of those things where the FBI will literally wait years to come after you. They will get as much evidence as humanly possible, and then they will come after you years later, after you've forgotten about it. Any type of lawsuit or any time, they're not disclosing anything. Basically, MCProhosting staff has officially said that they cannot disclose anything, which tells me that they've contacted the FBI already. By saying they can't disclose anything, I guarantee you that it was the FBI that told them, look, don't say anything, we're handling this, just give us information. Again, been on that side of the coin. Talk to the FBI, that's what they do. They say, don't tell anybody else about this, we've got it handled, just tell your audience that you can't disclose anything, it'll be fine. IP Gentleman says, this seems more like some guy in India actively trying to get a hold of and sell tons of PII and social media accounts with lots of followers. If they were trying to get a hold of tons of PII, they would have done it differently. That's the thing. Is if they wanted to get information and not just tear down a company, for shits and giggles, they would have done it differently. They wouldn't have just, from the start, taken down the website and the Discord. They would have been a little bit more sneaky about it if they wanted all the information. If it were a proper attacker they would have cloned the website. They would have redirected the domain to the new website that they've cloned, and then skimmed all the information they could, so they had usernames, passwords, whatever. That would be like the first obvious thing to do as an attacker, especially an attacker who wanted information. Like if you're after information, the first thing you're going to do is set up access, that way you can get that information. You're not going to be thinking, because if you take down the website, then you have nothing. You don't have PII if you take down the website that people are accessing. I'm up for a more in-depth discussion. Let me know if you want a Discord private call. Sure, we can do that. Yeah, we can. I'd like to discuss this a little bit, but yeah, the whole thing is like, if you're after PII, you're going to set up for getting PII. If you're after taking down their services, that's what you're going to set up for, right? If your first thought is, I want information, you're not going to want to take down the thing that's giving you information. Here, let me boop, do a call. Let's see if this actually works. Hey, there you are.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. So yeah, my thought process behind this is if it's a third-party attacker that wants information, they're not going to take down the website that's literally giving them information then. They're going to want to create their own website, skim that information, and then redirect the DNS, right?
I suppose so.
That'd be what I want to do. I mean,
with that point, it makes it look like maybe it started out as some kind of troll, and only like by day 2 they started realizing. With the redirection of the MX.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Data. That's what it's. Yeah.
They started realizing.
So maybe like day
info.
2, like, oh, I can sell this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Is that like, hey, day 1, oh, it's fun. I'm gonna take this down. It'll be awesome. And don't worry about the consequences. And then day 2, they were like, wait, people are offering money for this? I
suppose that could be the chain of command there. I don't know.
I'm only betting.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the 16 and 17-year-olds we've met, but it just seems redirecting MX records and stuff like that. That seems a little over what a normal newer hacker would try and do.
Well, I mean, again, assuming they were able to get access to this email account, they might have compromised something else to get access to this email account, right? Somehow they got access to it, so somehow they know something.
Right.
They must know a little bit about hacking, but judging just by what events even happened in the first place, it was, the first thing that happened was the website went down. If you want information, you don't take down the thing that's giving you information. If that's your goal to start out with, you don't want to take down the thing that's giving you the thing you want.
Right. I don't know. It's just a weird flow.
It is, but it's something that very out loud and proud start taking stuff down and completely overhaul their Discord server, and then day 2 start selling things and getting a hold of data. And that's what makes me think it's someone who has no idea what they were doing to start with. Is they got access to something. They knew a little bit of how the internet works, right? They knew a little bit of how things operate, and then they got access to something, and then they were like, yeah, let's have fun with this. And then only later on, someone said, hey, in the Discord even, I've seen people say like, hey, I'll give you X amount of money for this Discord. And then they probably thought, ooh, I can make some money off of this. Here, let me redirect the MX records so that way I can get, let's see if their Twitter is attached to this to their website. Oh, looks like it is. Oh, hey, look, someone's offering me money for this. I'm betting that's probably what that looked like. Dan says, we're still assuming it's an immature teenager. It could be anyone. The only thing we see is it was very trollish. Yeah, it's entirely possible that it wasn't a teenager, but that just seems very teenager-ish to me. But yeah, it's entirely possible it wasn't. It could have been someone in their 40s or 50s, but the thought process is still the same. It's, I want to take this down because it's fun, and then, oh my god, people are offering money for this. I might as well take it.
What we do know is must play Minecraft in some capacity or another.
Yeah.
For targeting something like MCProhosting.
I'm sure that they probably do. Yeah. That also makes me think it was probably a younger audience because, you know, Minecraft, it's a younger audience. I mean, there's some of us old farts in here, but even us old farts aren't that old.
Yeah.
Dan says, but now it's a little over the line. A little? Again, the first thing they did was take down the business part of the business that makes tens of thousands of dollars a month.
Mm-hmm.
The very first thing they did was way over the line. Like this, again, you gotta think, this is actually a legitimate business. This thing is valued at like $5 million right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, that's why it seems like it might be a little more targeted than we would think.
I think it was only targeted because it was bigger. It's like, hey, MCProhosting is like, when you think about hosting, MCProhosting is like the first name that gets mentioned or comes to mind.
Yeah.
So it could be that they targeted MCProhosting simply because they were bigger.
I mean, I don't know. They certainly have a presence.
Mm-hmm.
That,
yeah.
You know,
or it could have been like MCProhosting
too.
is like the biggest that they could get access to, too.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta think this probably wasn't the first company they tried.
Maybe it's a good Christian hacker who thinks that Minecraft is ruining the minds of the young generation.
Ah, yes, this block game.
It is an evil that must be taken down.
Ah, yes, blocks, evil. These cubes. It's the shape. It's the devil's shape.
It's the fact that it's taking up all of their kids' time. They want to do nothing but play Minecraft. It is one of the many things that provides temptation to the human mind, something that people enjoy. It must be the devil. The devil is in this game.
Like, I'm thinking 90% chance this whole thing happened.
I don't mean
because
to
COVID
offend
hit
any
them.
of your viewers who are potentially Christian. I do think some people take it a little too far to line.
Yeah, some people definitely do. It's. I think this whole thing probably started because COVID, you know, made people bored, and somebody went, "Oh, I'm just going to target a bunch of hosts and see which one I can get into," and then found one they could get into.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Dan's got the point. It's like if this is definitely someone who at least knows some of what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
If this is just a teenager trying to screw around, you know, oh, I got this account, let me see what I can do with it. He wouldn't go on and sell that shit. Like that is actually stepping over some lines and actually intending to do illegal activity.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
just trying to
and
be a
taking
troll.
down the website isn't.
Well, I mean, it is, but you know, it's nothing to do financially.
I mean, that website hosted their billing panel, and people literally can't access the services that they paid for,
but
and
not
also
like directly, you know. Not in his mind, he's just screwing. In a teenager's mind,
that's
that would
fair.
just be screwing around. You know, outright selling those accounts is something
That's true, actually. Yeah, I mean,
that takes a whole new meaning to. I'm definitely trying to bring this company to its knees.
yeah, and so that's kind of what I'm thinking is that. Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that. In the teenager's mind, if I were in the mind of a teenager, like for me, selling that access would definitely be crossing a line. So now they know they're doing something bad. I mean, before they were doing something bad, but they probably at least could have convinced themselves it was, you know, all in good fun. But now I'm sure they know they're doing something bad. So I have to wonder, like, what's their next step, right? They have access to a domain. If I were intentionally trying to do something bad, right? If I knew, like, all right, I've crossed the line now, I'm fucked, there's no going back. Like, what would I do next? Next thing I would do is I would probably, like, start screwing around with that DNS and create SSL certs. And maybe set up a
SSL
website.
certs, start redirecting people. That would probably be a logical next step. I would say,
Skim
even
credit
if
card
you can't get
information.
access to the database, do something to maybe try and ransomware it.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you could skim credit card information because their billing panel is hosted under the same domain. So people like put in credit card information, you could just skim it right off the site.
Right.
and also like you could even just do a JavaScript keylogger or something, right? And then you could create a fake login portal that skims information and then redirects to the real login.
Right. I don't know. Whatever's happening, I'm willing to bet he's probably got persistence set up at this point. He's probably dug in their network like a tick. MCProhosting's got his work cut out for him.
I don't know how. That's the thing, is that it seems like only DNS was compromised, right?
Well, yeah.
They have a name server. All their emails redirected to their DNS. So all they did was set up a mail exchange to redirect the emails to their inbox. So they can do password resets. And that works, sure, but I mean, like, you know, how do they get in from there? The only way they could have done so is, again, setting up a fake website, skimmed an admin's credentials, and then logged in using those. But it's too late for that now.
I don't know. It's definitely somewhat unique. It's definitely not, you know, a very sophisticated attacker, but definitely one that seems more targeted than...
Yeah, I'm not sure if they went over... Again, I have to wonder if they went after MCProhosting specifically, or if they just went after a bunch of them and MCProhosting was the weakest link. So Dan says, yeah, a teenager will realize it's a fuck up and ruin his entire life, but someone with high confidence wouldn't care about it unless they'd be sure they were secure enough. Also, teenagers don't have typically high confidence, or Kevin McNick might have turned into a boomer and think Minecraft is evil. As a 16-year-old who's into psychology, I can tell you that this is way too much for a teenager. Well, as a 16-year-old who, as a previous 16-year-old who knew some shit about hacking at one point in time, but not nearly enough to, like, you know, no consequences. I can tell you that this is definitely possible for a current 16-year-old to do. I mean, this is literally all this is just setting up a MX records and then logging into an email account. This is definitely doable for a 16-year-old so far. And the consequences, when I was 16, consequences were not the first thing on my mind. I don't know. It's entirely possible it's not a 16-year-old. I just have to think, like, going back to my 16-year-old head, right? This is totally something I would do if I were more evil than I am now. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, okay, but even if you're a teenager who's trying to be somewhat evil, you know, this guy's still gone to the point where he's outright selling their social media accounts to third parties. And
it's totally tempting to do as a 16-year-old. Somebody offers you $1,000, it's more money than you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, but, you know, I don't think people approached him, you know, directly. The Discord is one thing, because he was actually talking in the Discord, but to sell the Twitter and Instagram, that's not something that, you know, it's not like he's got some hotline somewhere that people just call him up and be like, I'll offer so-and-so for whatever accounts you've got.
He does, actually. It's his Discord.
Set up. Well, okay, but buying back the Discord he didn't have a hold of the Twitter and Instagram at that point either.
No, but he probably got offers for the Discord and then wondered what other accounts were attached to the domain that he now has. So my guess is maybe he just kind of wondered what other accounts were attached to it, and then got access to the Twitter, and then mentioned it to somebody, and they said, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 for this."
Well, yeah, but
it's possible. I guess it just seems the most likely to me of all the, you know, situations that could have happened.
I don't know. I still think, you know, if you're going to sell those accounts and stuff, that's still something you have to advertise. That's not really something people are going to be actively looking for.
That's true, yeah. So I wonder, like, how they... Well, I don't know. Maybe they weren't originally intending to sell it, and then they just mentioned it to, like, they apparently they have a server now. So maybe they mentioned it to the server, and somebody was like, "Hey, I'll give you money."
That's possible. To me, this seems a lot more like kind of what's been happening in YouTube lately, where people are actively trying to take over YouTube channels and sell them to third parties that want all the subscriber base with none of the work. This seems more like someone who's been trying to, all of a sudden he's got a hold of this hosting service and he might be trying to take it down, rebrand it, and sell it to someone else, possibly.
That's it's entirely possible, but why take it down in the first place then? Why notify the people that own it that you have it?
Because you own it. Obviously, they're still having problems getting rid of them.
Yeah, clearly. But I mean, like, why not wait until you have a buyer then?
I mean, generating all this noise about how it's down would certainly help your credibility.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually have control of this. Watch this shit. Click. All of a sudden, everything is on fire.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I didn't think about that. Maybe it's proving that it's on fire and then being able to sell it later, but I don't know, if it were me and I was gunning to sell it to begin with, then I'd want to stay silent until or as silent as possible until I had a buyer. And then I would prove to the buyer that I had access, and then I'd very quickly transfer it out of my hands.
Let the buyer go down with the ship.
Yep, exactly. Again, this is me thinking, like, what if I were evil, right?
I don't know. At the same time, you still have to, work quickly to get all that persistence. I feel like you'd still get detected before. And we're also taking this guy's skill level into account,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so far the only skill we've seen is he's able to somehow log into an email account, and everything else has just been and set up MX records. Okay, fine. And that's it. So, basic IT stuff. Dan says these people are often hella intelligent, sometimes very evil. Evil I can see, sure, but I mean, like, again, the only thing we've seen for sure is like, hey, I have basic knowledge of how DNS works and email. That's it. I mean, again, a more intelligent attacker definitely would have ransomed off their SSL certs, or even just generated more SSL certs, or redirected the site to skim credentials. But none of that happened.
I was about to say, like, how funny would it be if this was just a pen test, but then they're selling the account, so that's definitely not a pen test.
I mean,
if it is, he's gone rogue.
Yeah, if it's a pen test, either he's gone rogue or the terms are very loose.
Any data you get a hold of, you just go ahead and sell it. We don't care.
Like, yeah, this contract states you can sell whatever data you find. Wait, what? What? Hang on, what?
Guy who signed off the agreement's just like, yeah, dude, whatever, I don't care. make my IR team just panic.
All right, exactly. yeah, we don't need all these customers. It's fine. Yeah. Dan says, oh yeah, it could be some sort of borderline personality disorder. It could be, yeah. That's entirely possible. I didn't even think about, like, malfunctioning brains. I didn't actually take that into consideration. I just thought, like, what if it was me, and what if I was evil? Because you really got to put yourself into that kind of position, right? Like, as blue team, you always have to wonder, like, what does red team think? How do they work? How do they act?
Purple team, man. It's
Purple team, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We gotta think like a hacker.
Exactly.
To be able to defend against the hackers.
Exactly. So yeah, if it were me and I were evil, what would I do? I wouldn't have done this, but if I had done this, what would be my next move?
Charging straight through all of the lasers and setting off every alarm possible. That's definitely not the...
It's not the way I would have done it, but if I had, sure, okay, let's say I had, what would be my next move?
I don't know, this seems like it really didn't look like he knew what he had until day 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems like, he's just grabbing stuff, shutting down websites and discords and all that, and then he realizes, oh shit, this is a $5 million company. It's time to start making some money off this crap.
Exactly, and that's what I'm thinking too. So, what would be my next move if I thought, oh crap, I can make money? Like, what do I do next? Because now he's silent. They've gotten everything except DNS back, which is the big fucking thing again, right?
Yeah, well, now he's got DNS. He's pretty much got control over password resets thanks to getting control of mail.
Yep.
It seems like, he's sold the Twitter and Instagram. I imagine he's probably made a decent amount of money off of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think his strategy going forward is they've already got him out of everything else but DNS. I think he's going to hold on to that DNS for as long as he can, get as much PII out of the customers as possible, and then just assemble a spam list to sell to advertising companies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would get as much info as I can off the company, the customers, everything, and then I would sell that to the highest bidder.
Yeah. I think,
I think we're going to see a database
probably not going to
soon.
get He
Maybe
knows
not a
he's
database
probably
dump.
not going to get back in. He knows he's been caught. He knows they're looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, this is all he's got a hold of. I would hang on to that.
It's quite a lot, though.
I feel like at this point, with all the alarm bells going off and the entire team looking for him and trying to get him out, he's probably not going to get access back to the things he had access to previously, and he's probably definitely not getting anywhere near their databases.
Yeah.
So he might as well get as much as he can out of that DNS and get out of there.
Yeah.
Leave as little a footprint as possible at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking basically
any further attack at this point is just going to broaden any kind of evidence they can get against him and try to track him down.
Yeah, and if I were the attacker, I'd probably want to get out as unscathed as possible and with as much money as possible.
Yeah, so take over, I've got DNS, I'll set up MX records, try to gain attribution on as many PII data as I can, compile it into a list and sell it to the highest bidder.
Yeah, exactly. And then, use a VPN while doing so, et cetera, try and stay secure, use false names, all that happy fun stuff. I doubt the OPSEC here is going to be perfect. I doubt, the reason I doubt that is because I doubt it was perfect to begin with. When you first compromise an email, you're not thinking about OPSEC. You're like, oh shit, I just logged in. Oh fuck, there's my IP address. Oh fuck, what just happened?
Right.
So I guarantee Google's got his email or his IP address somewhere. So his OPSEC is probably already compromised, but, at least from here on out, it can probably try and be as safe as possible, or from there on out. Like, you're not expecting to log into to an email using an old or bad password, so as soon as you get in, you're like, oh shit, did I set my VPN up? Oh fuck, where am I? So you gotta think, the FBI's probably already got him. And speaking from experience, they wait years to come back to you to tell you, hey, remember that thing you did years ago? Yeah, come with us.
Hey, you still got that laptop you were using to hack people?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just the FBI, it's the police. But the police only wait a few months, the FBI wait years. So it's going to be years later before we see this resurface and, see the attacker has been caught and sentenced to prison. Yeah.
Right.
And again, speaking from experience here, judging from the announcements where they're like, yeah, we can't tell you what we're doing, it's the FBI that's involved here.
Yeah. I'm sure they've notified the FBI at this point.
And the FBI's in contact with them.
When stuff starts getting sold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah.
That's when, yeah.
This is the exact kind of response that I was told, right? This is exactly the kind of thing that they told me. Like, hey, by the way, don't mention that we were involved. Don't mention this. Don't mention that. Et cetera, please. Thanks. This will help our investigation. This will help your investigation. So, you're incentivized not to tell people exactly what's going on.
And that was when you were reporting that botnet?
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
It's basically, they said, please don't mention this, or this. It'll help our investigation, which will help you.
Excellent.
So, yeah, this is exactly the kind of response they told me to say, so I'm guessing it's probably, the FBI's involved here.
It's a good thing we went ahead and broadcast that response to, I don't know how many people are watching. I know 3 on Twitch.
Oh, good.
Hopefully one of them is not the attacker.
Well, whatever. It's fine. If I were the attacker, I would sure as hell know the FBI's on my case by now. I mean, come on. But, you know.
The FBI is definitely not on your case. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Make noise. It's fine.
Generate as much traffic as humanly possible.
Exactly. It's perfect. You don't need VPNs, actually. They're totally useless. They do nothing.
Yeah. Change your IP.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
that supposed to do for you?
No, it's fine. It's whatever. This is gonna be an interesting couple of days, and then it'll be an interesting next like 3 years. At least for this company.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, broad spectrum. MCProhosting is gonna have a lot to answer for this. I mean, as much as any other company that gets breached does.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty sweet that they didn't actually manage to lose any financial data, at least as far as we know. Maybe he got a hold of it. I don't know.
It seems
definitely
doubtful.
Hasn't been announced anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think as far as the actual attack goes, this is probably winding down at this point. I don't think he's unless he is really has no idea what he's doing. I don't think he's gonna move on from DNS. I think he's just gonna hold on, just gonna gather as much data from it as he can until they kick him out, and then sell what he got, and that'll probably be the last you hear of him until the FBI brings him in.
Yeah, and judging again by the by Namecheap's service standards, that's going to be a while yet. It'll probably be a couple of weeks until we see this DNS return to MCProhosting. Maybe if they're lucky,
right.
Sure, a few days, but like really, Namecheap is cheap for a reason. And the official people did, or for the official like MCProhosting team did actually mention Namecheap, so that's I assume what they're using then.
Sweet. Namecheap.
Yeah, they're cheap for a reason.
Is that their DNS service? Is that what they use?
Yeah, their hosting or their name service is what I'm assuming, because again they did mention them.
Okay, well, I mean, if you're gonna be hosting a bunch of servers, you gotta start cutting costs somewhere.
I guess, right? And Dan says, yeah, well, you're thinking a little too much inside the box and way too much outside the box. It's entirely possible. I mean, it could be anything. We're just speculating right now, but we're trying to like see like what's the most likely thing that's going to happen here, right? That's what purple/blue team is supposed to do. We're supposed to think like hackers.
And I think most likely, if he was really focused on making money on day 2, he's already kind of blown himself up out of the water for gaining any kind of serious attribution. So
exactly.
Sell the accounts you got a hold of, start gathering information through your little DNS MX name redirection, and
hope the fine the FBI gives you in a few years is less than what you've made.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Darkstar says, "Hey, don't talk about FBI on Microsoft." Is that not a thing that you can do? I'm pretty sure you can talk about the FBI all you want on any platform. Freedom of speech and all that.
I mean, but they're listening, Alex.
Oh yes, I'm sure they are.
They're watching you on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube.
All three, just in case one's slightly different from the others. Maybe a little less worse, or a little worse quality, sure.
Right. I mean, obviously, Daniel is just an FBI bot in disguise.
Dan, why are you treating me like this?
Nothing but an automated account here to watch you.
An automated account with very auspicious responses.
Exactly.
Dan says, yeah, buy our VPN.
Just what the FBI wanted you to think.
Ah, exactly. Their bot technology has gotten amazing.
They're hiding the cameras in our cheese.
Right back to the mozzarella from the beginning of the stream. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, buy our VPNs. We definitely don't log what you're doing, and we're definitely not going to hand it over to the authorities if they kindly ask us exactly.
No. 14 eyes? What's that? I don't know what you're talking about. There's no agreement between governments and companies.
What? That's fine.
It's definitely not why I use Proton VPN based in Switzerland that has nothing to do with any of those agreements.
Yeah, or what's that other one? Is it Proton VPN? That's like either a really good VPN or an FBI honeypot, one of the two.
No, that's the one you were using.
Yeah.
Proton VPN has a free plan, but they definitely paid for as well.
Oh right. Okay, let's see.
Yours was the one that's like totally free forever.
Oh no, it's not free. You still have to pay for it, but you can pay in Bitcoin and shit.
Oh.
It's like one of the only services you can pay in Bitcoin. It was the first that you could pay in Bitcoin anyway. Yeah, it's either like a really good VPN or an FBI honeypot. Dan says, me an FBI bot? Nah, updating phrase list. It's beautiful.
Rockyou.txt.
Ah yes, good old RockYou.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, I never did get into that zip file. Oh well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still have it. I wonder if there's I don't know if I care.
I might try it on my VM. See what I can do.
Yeah, one day maybe, right?
I don't know. I might try, doing it in John instead of some online deal.
Version 2020 5034. There's 4 versions today already? Jeez, Dan. They're really turning out those new phrases.
I mean, it pulls from, your Amazon Alexa and your Google Home and all that.
That's true, yeah. That's fair.
It's constantly receiving new information per file.
Perfect.
Speaking of which, I'm going to start playing around with one of those. Google decided to give me a Home for free since I buy YouTube Premium.
Yeah, they gave us one too. That's why we have one in the office now.
Great. It's listening to everything you say.
It's perfect. I was actually looking at, so I found that Mozilla actually has now a speech to text and text to speech, and they are really good. Equally, if not better than Google's and Amazon's. And you can host them privately too. Like, it's all
Amazon's speech deal is it open source? I know they're definitely allowing other developers to work on it. I don't know if...
I don't know.
I don't know. Their whole speech synthesis deal, I know they're working on it.
Yeah.
I know
I think it's
tried to develop a system recently where they get a few samples from a person, then it's able to actually synthesize the voice and do entire custom phrases. Yes,
actually, that's what Mozilla's Deep Speech does as well. It actually just grabs a few phrases from a person and it can replicate their voice. Which, when I saw their or when I heard they have samples on SoundCloud. When I heard this sample, I was like, okay, so this is the human. I get it. Where's the bot? No, it was the bot. Like, it genuinely tricked me. Like, for a solid 5 minutes, I was listening to it going, shit, this
think
is
of the insane social engineering attacks that are going to happen with that shit.
Mm-hmm. Like, I thought that was the training data, but no, it was actually the fucking bot. I was like, holy shit, it genuinely tricked me.
You combine one of those voice bots with a deep fake.
I know, right? Jesus. I mean, again, Deep Speech is totally free. It's offline. It's created by Mozilla. You can run it on a Raspberry Pi. The processing is a little slower. So I'm wondering if, like,
with a deep fake and take over a news broadcast, you could make it seem like we're about to enter nuclear war.
Holy shit, that would. Well, that's terrifying.
It's some 1984 level shit there.
Also, Alex, would you like to buy a new cat with a 13.37% discount for a low price of $42 USD?
The FBI bot is offering to buy you a new cat. Hold on, I know exactly which cat they're trying to get you.
Uh-oh. Eternity is Hungry. So, hello, Eternity is Hungry. Welcome to the stream. Just got here from Paper MC. Just wanted to say MCProhosting is horrible. I don't know. It seems like they've been the first 2 days they were handling the attack super well, at least as far as PR. Mostly, they kind of handed over some of the control to the community, and as we know, the Minecraft community is quite toxic at times. But they themselves handled it fairly well. And now they're not handling it as well over the last 2 days of the new attack.
There you go. Off topic. I just sent you the picture of the cat that Dan, the FBI man, is trying to.
Oh, fantastic.
Here.
Let's see. Oh, huh. That's a thing that exists on the
It
internet.
is. That is not fake. That is a real thing that someone has done to their cat.
I am so sorry. Why? Dan says a new generation of deepfake porn is coming. Oh Lord, that's terrifying.
I mean, that's
too,
just
actually.
inevitable.
Yeah, I know that's inevitable, but that's also terrifying now that you think about it. Like, imagine our future president. No, you know what? Don't imagine that, actually.
If there's any kind of industry that is quick to adopt new technologies, it's definitely the porn industry.
Oh boy, VR porn has been a thing for a while now.
Yeah, if there is any industry that is willing to experiment.
With deepfakes, oh Jesus Christ. I cannot, nope. Nope. Eternity says...
Burn the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start over, actually. So we've gone down a dark path. Let's burn it all and start over, please. Eternity is Hungry says, I was with them a few months and my general impression of them is that they will offer you a month for free for any trouble you will get. I mean, that sounds good. That's not bad, right? I mean, they're offering you a free month. That's still expenses on their part. Dan says, is it the furless cat? No.
No, it is. It is worse than the furless cat.
Here, let me show it off to you. It's beautiful. Zoom. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yep, that's a thing that exists on the internet. I think it's time to, yeah.
What doesn't exist on the internet?
Oh my god. That's true.
Dan, no fucking way. Yes, way.
Yeah, that's a real thing that exists. You've seen it now. You can't unsee it.
He loved his cat, man, and he wanted to keep it as a drone.
Is that cat alive?
No, it is not alive. His cat died, and yeah, that was his way of keeping his cat around.
Somehow that's more... That makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, my next door neighbor has a stone statue of his dead dog in his backyard, so...
I mean, that's less uncomfortable. This is like...
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just not, you know, the animal that's been taxidermied into a flying machine.
With literal components inside of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It flies.
Oh god. Alright. Ooh, okay. Nope. I realized that was like an actual cat. Nope. Well, that's a thing that exists. Dan says, but I have this one for 666 USD. A shipping fee of 1,337 USD not included. Ah, I see. Is there a 69.69 USD shipping and handling, or is that in the shipping there? And would you like a cake? The cake is a lie, sir.
Cake is always a lie.
Cake has always been a lie.
No matter what GLaDOS says.
It's always fire. You think it's not a lie, and then you get sent to a pit of fire.
And then, you know, you're experiencing third-degree burns all over your body.
Well, it looks like the MCProhosting general is still just talking about this damn... Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you know, the website is still down. Still in the attacker's hands, and emails are still being redirected to the attacker's email.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna imagine that they're probably not gonna bring the site back up until they're done, you know, with all their forensics and reporting.
Probably not, no. I mean, the thing is, like, who owns the DNS right now, though? Is it the company, or is it the attacker still? Right?
Not a clue.
That is the $1 million question. Well, actually, the $1 million question is, who is the attacker? I was actually asked that. Someone was like, hey, who is sysadmin? And I responded, honestly, that is the $1 million question, isn't it? Like, isn't that like what we're trying to answer? Who is this person and why did they do this?
I mean, unsure.
It is all uncertain, but that is the purpose of Purple Team. Figure out who, why, and what their next step is. And I think you said it earlier, is the next step is just basically gathering as much info as possible, selling it to the highest bidder, and then hoping that 5 years down the line, when the FBI comes knocking, you can afford the fine.
Right.
And assuming it is someone in India, we have extradition.
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, it's up to the Indian authorities to extradite him.
Yeah, which, as far as I'm aware, authorities in other countries, especially second and third world countries, are not nearly as nice as the ones here.
Yeah, but they also don't have as much resources because they're in third world countries. And
That's true.
Not usually enough to find the people.
And that's why I say it's probably like 5 years down the line. Extradition takes time.
It does.
Assuming it's a new country, and even if it's not, it still takes time. So I'm betting, years down the line, we'll see some headline somewhere. It's like, hey, remember the hacker that did like MCProhosting a few years back? Yeah, they're in jail now.
I mean, it might be these people who, on trycheat.com, we have update MCProhosting hack tool today.
Wait, what?
Many user has been success get in. I'll post it to your Discord.
Yeah, I'm a little curious here. What's going on with this? I'm guessing it's a third party taking advantage of the situation, but let's see.
I don't know what it's supposed to be doing. Here you can generate unlimited MCProhosting resources and enjoy playing with your devices.
Oh, it looks like it's
Makes it possible that you can basically receive an unlimited quantity of in-app purchases for MCProhosting within just 3 minutes of time and with very little effort at almost all.
Yep, sounds about right. So this is an old one.
Cheat is completely. Yeah, I have no idea what this did.
This is an old thing. Basically, if there's a company selling any product or service, there's a company scamming you to try and get that product or service for free.
Ah.
Yeah.
I see. But does it?
No, it probably doesn't work.
No, it probably doesn't. Especially when you get to the bottom of their description page and you've got all the stamps: 100% working, safe, free, 100% clean. Just these JPEG images of, like, absolutely, like, just because they look like some kind of certification.
Fuck it.
It's not.
Oh my god. I remember when that was popular a few years back. All the
100% clean.
Yeah, all those malware.
Totally not a virus.
Or all those anti-malware companies were actually selling fucking seals that you could add to your website. Remember that? Like McAfee and shit?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's hilarious.
And it was literally just a JPEG that anybody could stick onto their fucking website.
Yeah, just stick it on there.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Wow, there's a lot of these.
It is.
On gehack.com.
Yeah, trycheat.com or whatever. Dan says, okay, I got the reference. Of course I did. I've been in the internet longer than you have. If you didn't, that looks stupid. Jeez. Come on, that's like the oldest reference in the internet.
There are people who have never even heard of Portal that still know that the cake is a lie.
Exactly. At least they pay for their country's education, mostly. It's hey, I mean, okay. Yeah, that's all I got. Dan says, no McAfee, please don't. My PTSD flashbacks are coming back. I'm telling you, man. It wasn't just McAfee and shit that were doing this, but I mean, like, it was mainly McAfee that was selling these. Let's be honest. Oh my god. The seals and then the Facebook comments. Amazing generator. Yesterday I got many cash. Today a success. Top up again. I'll be back again. Thanks. I don't know what this tool is. Is this a cash generator? Is this a?
I have no idea.
I'm
it's
very
so
confused.
vague that it's just like, what even?
Okay, one person saying it's generating cash. Another one says it's a hack tool for Android, iOS, and Facebook. Whatever that means.
Something to unlock in-app purchases.
Yeah, and then there's a cheat here and some sort of cheat. I don't know. Is this an unlimited money exploit here that we're going for? Or what is going on?
I'm not even sure they know.
I don't think they do. They know either. It's fine. For every company selling a product or service, there's another company trying to scam you by saying they'll get it for free. And that's exactly what's happening here. It's fine. So I wonder what the top search. I know my top search results for MCProhosting hack are actually my live stream, but I don't know what anybody else is. I tried it on a different browser, so it wouldn't be affected by my Google account, but
Right.
but I'm sure it's still affected by my IP address.
It's a distinct possibility.
So I have to wonder, like, if you search in Firefox for, I say Firefox, if you search for MCProhosting hack, like, what's your first kind of results here? That's try, cheat, and shit.
Plugins to detect hacked clients, and then the two MCProhosting hack tools.
Yeah.
Whose purpose is dubious.
Exactly. All right, what about YouTube? Let's see. So for me, if I search on YouTube, just MCProhosting hack, first result is actually my stream. The second one is this UN MCProhosting's Discord server got hacked that I showed on my stream.
Right.
And then the third result is my live stream that's happening right now. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no one else is really covering it.
It's true. For now. I assume in about a week we're going to see a bunch of YouTube videos on this.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I know there's definitely YouTubers that are heavily sponsored by that. I'm sure we'll hear something from Captain Sparkles at the very least.
Ant Venom was in the Discord right after the hack.
Ooh, cool.
So I'm betting there'll be something. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, same on mine, says Daniel. Okay, well, I mean, to be fair, Daniel is subbed, so fair enough. Really gotta... wonder if I can do, like, a screenshot. Oh, I can, actually. I can do, like, screenshot.guru or something. And then, like, just enter the YouTube search query URL and do a screen cap and see what it looks like. Lucky Patcher for life. Jesus. Missed the days where Lucky Patcher's in-app purchase emulators worked. My god, I can't... Lucky Patcher is like one of those things that I forgot existed. Oh shit, yeah, Screenshot Guru. MCProhosting was hacked. Let's watch this fire burn together. Then the UN, and then the third one, the one that's live now. I'll be damned. Wow, okay. Well, my SEO isn't too bad then. Go figure. Try incognito mode. Firefox is my incognito mode. That's what I use Firefox for. I use it for streams because I don't want my search results being affected. Well, I'm looking up all this random shit that you guys tell me to look up.
Well, they posted like an update like 28 hours ago that they were bringing everything back up, and then I guess that's when the DNS server should hit.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Or the tweeter and Insta snaps stuff hit.
And then their Twitter was taken. At this time, we've regained access to our Twitter. That was 2 hours ago. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Please stay tuned for more official updates.
Yeah, exactly. They're being very. If you search general for their responses, just responses by their staff, you'll see that they say very explicitly some very odd phrases that basically say we can't tell you what's going on.
Right.
That tell me, yep, that's the FBI talking.
Why is it showing me things in a weird language on here?
Are you actually in the MCProhosting community Discord then? I assume, yeah.
I am not.
Hmm.
I'm looking at their Twitter right now.
Oh, okay, gotcha. MCProhosting community and then temporary server are both ones that Discord servers that I've been watching. Although I haven't seen their Twitter since they got it back, so let's take a look here.
Right.
Dan says you can use portable Chrome. I'm not sure if it works like that though. If I use portable Chrome, I'd be super tempted to sign in because it does ask you often. Let's see, what's their Twitter say? Oh yeah, at this time we regain access to our Twitter. We're working to restore our server control panel. So I do have some small inside information here, actually, which I will release. Someone managed to find a origin IP address of a legitimate server that runs their panel and send that to me. The reason I know it's legitimate is because it does have valid certificates, SSL certificates on it that do validate successfully. So and they've been up for a while. So either it's the attacker and they've been up for a while, or it's the legitimate company. And so it's a DigitalOcean droplet IP address that I was sent that, yes, does actually have a legitimate valid SSL certificate for their panel. And it does have their panel. When you go to that IP address, the first thing that you're hit with is their panel login for MCProhosting. Yeah, it's their one control center login.
They managed to get their control panel back up and running, and they're distributing it on an IP address to their members. Well,
it looks like it was an older one. I'll send you the IP address there. There you go. It looks like it's an older panel. You can actually see they used this to find the IP address.
Yeah, I joined and I get the potential security risk ahead.
Yeah,
I don't know about that valid certificate, Chief.
The validity of the certificate isn't for it's for panel.mcprohosting.com.
SSL error bad cert domain.
Mm-hmm. The reason is because you're connecting through an IP address.
I suppose.
But it is a valid. If you check the chain on it, actually check the certificate itself. It is a valid Let's Encrypt X3 authority for panel.mcprohosting.com. So it looks like this is
whose site is this though?
Well, exactly. It could be the attackers, but it looks like this IP address has been in operation for longer than the attack has been a thing. So
that doesn't mean
it's entirely it's entirely possible the attacker actually just has it though. Yeah. There's a lot of ifs in here, but this is like the only inside information I've ever been given. So this is what I've got. It looks like it's valid. It could be the attackers. It could be legitimate. Portable Chrome is entirely isolated from everything, bookmarks, password, history, everything. Huh, interesting. Maybe the guy just wanted a free server. Yeah. There's other ways to do that, I think.
I mean,
it looks legit, doesn't it?
Through an unorthodox method.
Yeah, no, I question the validity of this whole thing too, but at least the certificates are valid, and the IP has been up for a while, so I do have to wonder.
Nah, that don't mean shit.
Yeah, I know. It could be the attacker too, but if it is the attacker, then they're taking the quote-unquote advice that I gave a while back and copying the control panel. If it isn't...
Oh god.
I know.
That would ruin...
Oh no!
That would be exceptionally bad.
Shit, the certificate is for MyMCProhosting.com, which is the new one that the official people set up for temporary access. Shit. They didn't... Wait, why didn't they block port 80 to everything except Cloudflare?
I don't know. I'm not them.
So, I'm assuming then the attacker obviously doesn't have access to the MyMCProhosting.com domain. This domain was purchased by MCProhosting as the new temporary domain that everybody should be logging into. And if you check the certificate of validity, it is valid. It does resolve. So this looks like it's the backend panel, this IP address.
I bet people will still freak out about it because, you know, the whole potential security risk ahead is going to kind of freak people out.
Well, yeah, no, if you use the, what I'm saying is if you use the mymcprohosting.com domain, it's going to resolve to this IP address, I'll bet, ultimately, on the back end. Because I believe they use Cloudflare for this. Let me double check that. mymcprohosting.com. Yeah, they're using Cloudflare. So their origin is probably this this IP address. If you have a valid certificate on the back end, Cloudflare still puts its own certificate beforehand.
Please click each image containing an airplane.
Beautiful. So it looks like, yeah, this is the back end. I have to. Why are they not blocking port 80 to the world, or 443 to the world? Why? What is this madness? Like, Cloudflare specifically puts its IP addresses in a nice, neat list that you can programmatically download for a very good reason. Like, there's a 4-line script that I use that downloads the Cloudflare IPs, and UFW opens access to, like, runs a UFW command to open access to it.
I'm just helping you co-host a stream right now, man. I don't work for MC Pro Hosting. I have no idea why that decision was made.
I know, I'm just like...
I mean, we can keep speculating about
yes,
why
that's the point. That's what we're doing here, is speculating. Like, I have to wonder why. Maybe they freaked out and they moved it and it's just a temporary address and they don't care? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, like, you know, it still takes like 2 seconds to set up that script to allow Cloudflare. I'm very confused.
Right.
Alright, so what are your thoughts, Mr. Epi Gentleman? What do you think? Should I become a Twitch affiliate or no?
So
that was the second half of this.
I mean, that's...
I've been given the opportunity to. Should I click the button and say, yeah, I want to be a Twitch affiliate and sacrifice streaming to YouTube and Mixer simultaneously for some added benefits on Twitch? Or no?
I mean, I don't know what... I mean, where's your biggest audience right now?
It's pretty much all Twitch. I mean, it's like 75 Twitch, more like 60-30 Twitch YouTube, and then there's some Mixer thrown in.
I mean,
60-40, I can math.
I am not one who's, you know, actively doing stuff like you're doing on the internet. I have a YouTube channel where me and my friends post the stupid shit we talk about while playing video games at 10 o'clock at night. But it's not something I've thought of, you know, starting and trying to make like a side career for myself. I don't know the intricacies of what being a Twitch affiliate is going to do for you, other than you'll be strictly Twitch.
I'll be strictly Twitch. That's a downside. Dan says I'm going to take a quick shower. See you later. If you're still going to be streaming. Otherwise, see you on Monday, Tuesday for me. Yeah, it'll probably be Monday. No worries though. Enjoy. Yeah, for the audience, the benefit is that Twitch, I get priority on Twitch transcoding. So when I stream to Twitch, instead of maybe it'll transcode my stream, maybe it won't, it's everyone will get like 1080p source and then 1080p, 720p, etc.
Neat.
And then it'll unlock the option for people to send bits my way on Twitch, which makes it easier for people to donate, basically. Bits are a good way for people to donate, and it's a very easy way for people to donate.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's not my decision. If you think
I want to know your opinion, though.
It'll help. I mean, if it'll help you grow, then
that's the question.
Go for it, but I don't know.
I don't know either. Basically, I'd be limited to uploading my Twitch streams to one day after the Twitch stream, like 24 hours after the Twitch stream.
Right.
So if you're an affiliate, basically anything you do on Twitch, you can't do on other platforms for another 24 hours.
I see. I mean, not that that's necessarily a huge handicap, because if you're going to try to do any kind of editing, it's going to take that long anyway to get it even up. So...
Yeah, like I edit my streams.
I mean, hey.
I don't even edit my damn videos anymore. Jesus. I really should get back to editing that video.
Excellent quality. I
know. I really should get back to editing that video. It's been long in the process of making, and I've just been lazy. Dark says, is MCProhosting dog or something? I don't know what dog means, but they've been hacked twice. If that's what dog means, then yes, they've been dog.
Right.
Yeah, well, they were hacked once, and then their Twitter was hacked, and Instagram was hacked afterward. So, like the first 2 days of the hack, they were like, Twitter is our official place of business. You know, you'll see official updates for us on our Twitter, and then a couple days later, it's like, oh, Twitter's been hacked. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. It's all been kind of crazy. We'll see. Or at least, again, I say crazy. It's been crazy in this small little corner of the internet, so we'll see what happens. If any news comes up, I'll update, but yeah. For now, though, I think it's hit the 3-hour mark, so we're gonna go ahead and call it today's stream. So if you haven't yet, YouTube is there. Aha! That's where I post videos of, well, that's where I should be posting videos. I will post more videos there of random stuff that I do. There's some videos coming up which I pay people on Fiverr to code some things for me, and then I review their code. It's awesome. That will be coming up soon. Twitch, and I also live stream there. Twitch, I live stream. Instagram is a place where I post behind the scenes stuff. I take photos of giant fucking mini wheats and then post them on Instagram going, what the hell? Or just behind the scenes stream stuff. It's always fun. Yeah, great. So enjoy those. Have fun.
Enjoy all of the plug.
Yes, all of the plug.
All of the plug.
Anything you wanna say to the audience before we take off, or?
I guess I might start becoming more of a regular presence depending on how you feel, Alex.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. It sounds fun.
Cool.
It's like I said, it's
like my stupid voice and commentary.
It's always fun to talk to other people on stream. It's just I just never really get an opportunity to do so. So, all right, yeah.
Someone who maybe has a little different perspective on stuff of the world.
Exactly. All right. Well, we'll take off for now. You guys have fun. Enjoy the rest of your nights, and we will see you on Monday.
Guten Morgen, guten Nacht, guten... I don't know the German word for afternoon.
Good.
Bye.
Yeah, that.
Bye. Hasta mañana.